And welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We just would love for you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation and give us your comments, your questions as we discuss this week in tech. How you doing this morning, Fran?
I'm doing well. I'm thinking I want to play with some tools here, but we'll see how this goes. Uh,
Okay.
so let's start off with some tech history.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a few things that happen in tech history, in the gaming industry, I'm pushing buttons here. Let's see.
Okay.
In the gaming industry, in different things happening all over the place. So I wanted to see if I could go live with these glasses.
Oh, uh-huh.
Anyway, that's why you should play with stuff a little bit after you get it, just
Mm-hmm.
so you can do stuff. Okay, well, we shall see during the course of the event today.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about June 13th, 1983. The
Mm-hmm.
NASA space probe Pioneer 10 crosses the orbit of Neptune, becoming the first man made object to leave the solar system. It was launched on March 2nd, 1972, toward the red star Aldebaran, which forms the eye of the constellation Taurus. The last contact with Pioneer 10 was on January 23, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
June 14th, 1822, in a paper to the Royal Astronomical Society, Charles Babbage unveils his design for a machine he called the difference engine, the first example of a mechanical computing machine. Um, I think I can show that to you as well.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what it looks like.
Uh-huh. Wow.
It is already confusing to me. Anyway, um, the British government funded the building of a difference engine, which Babbage never actually completed. However, his design for the machine is later analytical. His later analytical engine spurred future designs of working mechanical computers. And in 1991, a difference engine, was constructed using his plans, proving that his designs would have worked.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, so don't give up on your stuff just because you think, this ain't gonna work. It might very well work. My next story is IBM is incorporated as the computing tabulating recording
Mm.
company. Why? Okay. In 1924. And then
Okay.
CTR is adopted the name International Business Machines. In 1911, it
Mm-hmm.
was the computing tabulating recording company. And then in 1924, they changed the name to International Business Machines, better known as IBM. I think that was a better move to
It's
go.
a lot easier to remember.
Yeah. Bill Gates steps out. He transitioned from the day to day role at Microsoft on July 15, 2006, to uh, spend more time with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and he exited July 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is one that's interesting. June 16th, 1903, Henry Ford incorporates Ford Motor Company. He had 10 investors and $28,000. Ford began building automobiles on Mack Avenue in Detroit in a converted factory that previously produced wagons.
Hello.
This was his third attempt at building a company that produced cars, and the investment was down to $300 before the first Ford was sold. So all the money, they got down to 300, but they sold the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
And eventually, the Ford Model T would be largely responsible for popularizing the automobile to the general public, at one point representing half of all cars on the road.
Wow. Wow. 50% of the market.
50%. And then I have another story about Ford and what they're doing now, which they're still in the game in different ways. So we'll talk about that. June 17, 1980, Atari's Asteroid and Lunar Lander become the first two video games to be registered with the U.S. Copyright Office.
Mm.
This was an important step in the intellectual property rights situations, right? For the gaming industry, because the gaming industry was just starting up in 1980.
Uh-huh.
We were hearing, stop playing them video games and stuff. Nobody knew how the video game industry was going to take off. And then it's kind of like what AI is today and
Mm-hmm.
what other programs were of the day. And it took
Television
off.
of the 50s. Mm-hmm.
Right. And nobody knew.
Radio. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so who belongs, who thought of that, and how do you know it's yours or whatever? So they had to deal with intellectual property rights, which we still deal with today. And there were no rules.
Which we are finding out today about this new technology.
Right. I am going to let that one slide. And I think June 20th, 1950, the National Bureau of Standards dedicates the CEAC computer in Washington. It was the first computer to use all diode logic, a technology more reliable than vacuum tubes, and was the first stored program computer completed in the United States. Magnetic tape in the external storage units stored programming information, coded subroutines, numerical data, and output. And that is tech history. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about some tech making history. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I thought this was really interesting. And I had this all pulled up. Okay. Ford, like I was telling you, Ford brought back a historic train station with a focus on mobility tech.
Oh, yes. I remember
Right.
that.
Right. So there were 20,000 people in the crowd that turned out on a spring night to celebrate what for many years seemed impossible: the reopening of Detroit's Central Station, a former train depot whose 111-year history is intertwined with the city. Speaking from a stage that would later become Detroit's most famous speaking from a stage that would later host some of Detroit's most famous musicians, including Diana Ross, Jack White, Eminem, William Clay Ford Jr., Ford's executive chairman and great grandson of the company, reminisced on the long road to this moment. And there, anyway, um, the Ford company purchased the property in 2018. And
Mm.
6 years, they say here, 6 years ago, we gathered here. We dreamt of what was possible, he said. We dared to dream that this station, which had become a symbol of a broken city, could once again shine as a symbol of the Motor City. Mobility is the foundation underpinning the nearly $1 billion effort to restore the station and create a 30-acre tech campus.
Wow.
Mhm. Michigan Central eventually will have space for up to 2,500 Ford employees. 1,000 more workers from other companies are slated to join them, and hundreds are already working on everything from aerial mobility to supply chain innovations to electrification solutions.
Mm. Wow.
Right. So Michigan Central Station, a Beaux Arts style building designed by the architects behind New York City's Grand Central Terminal, featured a three-story depot, 18-story office tower, and it was first opened in 1913. For the next 75 years, it served as a transportation hub, ushering in famous visitors like Diego Rivera, Frida Kahlo, and welcoming participants in the Great Migration as they arrived seeking opportunities in the automotive industry. And it also served as symbols of Detroit's fortunes. The building was built to show the ambitions of the city on the rise. At its peak, the depot served roughly 4,000 passengers a day, but service declined as car and plane travel replaced trains as
Mm.
Americans dominant transportation. And in 1988, a Chicago-bound train became the last to depart Michigan Central. For the next 30 years, the building sat vacant, its state of disrepair growing alongside the city's decline.
Wow.
Yeah.
I, I'm just excited. The streets in Detroit are so wide. It's just it's built for automobiles, and it's exciting to find out that they are, you know, having such success with renovating this particular train station. And we talked about this earlier. So now they're ready, set, go. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, they how Ford brought back the system. I'm going to show you a picture of this too. They brought this back, and I'm thinking, wow, it was gone. It was literally,
They were ready to get rid of it.
yeah, because they had, it was sitting vacant, and you know what happens when things sit vacant. It
Especially when a city is in distress. And
Right,
Detroit had been in distress for a long time with its real estate.
right, and I was like, wow, okay. So this is the building now.
Mm. Hmm.
This is what it looks like now. They got some green areas and things, and they brought it back. Now we move down a little bit. This is the interior.
Nice. I like the way they preserved it. It looks a lot, these train stations tend to look alike across the
Right.
country. But I'm excited about them renovating this and saving this piece of history.
So on the right, this is what it is now.
Hmm.
This is what it was.
Yeah. Abandoned and, yeah, unkept. But
Right.
it's
And it just
such a beautiful structure.
right. And it looks like if I could say it this way, dead on the inside, no life. Well, there wasn't any, right? So,
Hmm.
and then now this is what it looks like after they've come in and did some work to it.
Paved it, and
Mhm.
landscaped, and then did that all that interior work. There are a lot of murals in these train stations from the Depression when they were giving artists work.
Yeah.
And those things are national treasures. I love
Yes.
it, Fran.
So there are more than 300, 3,100 workers labored for 1.7 million hours to transform the building
Mhm.
over the last 6 years. Ford put out a call to the public to return original elements of the building that had disappeared over the years. No questions asked. Just bring it back, right?
I love it. Okay.
Anonymous respondents returned a missing 750-pound carriage house clock wrapped in a
Wow.
tarp and bubble wrap. You know, the clock that was probably hanging like in, uh,
In the foyer, in the
yeah,
mhm, because they all had these huge clocks.
right. Well,
Mhm.
so somebody brought it back. Okay. And the
Nice.
restoration crew documented and preserved some graffiti in the building, a nod to the station's 30 years as a site of street art, paintball games, and urban exploration. So they left some of
Mhm.
the graffiti. Um, Everything Ford could save, we did, and other elements were recreated through technology and tenacity. So they're looking at keeping this up,
Mhm.
and that's making history, and it's tech making history because it's a tech center. It's an office building. It may not be used for transportation,
Mhm.
but it
Being
is
used for a journey into the future.
right. And so let me see, do I have anything else? Oh, there was something on the best airports for Wi-Fi. If you're
Oh.
traveling,
Mhm.
the top, according to the internet speed analysis firm Ookla's, the latest ratings, one of the seven airports would be ideal for downloading the latest season of Bridgerton for the plane. So, San Francisco International Airport, Newark
Mhm.
Liberty International Airport, John F. Kennedy International Airport, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, Seattle Tacoma International, Dallas Fort Worth International, and Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. Those are have the best speeds for internet.
I could see where Vegas would want you to have internet speed so you could play games while you're waiting.
Look.
Lose some more money on the way home. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, one more. Oh my gosh, you have to hear this story.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, let me read something from the Pope. Um, Pope Francis had a bigger concern than bungled. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to that story. He's calling for a ban on lethal autonomous weapons.
Okay.
Uh, So, is that like robots with guns? Okay. We'll have to talk
Lethal
about.
autonomous
So
weapons.
let me read this story first, and then we'll get over there and I'll talk to you about that one.
Hmm.
McDonald fires its AI drive-through cashiers.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. You want to
Yeah,
talk about that?
because the fast food giant is ending robot its drive-through experience with the robots because of, after some viral fails. AI drive-throughs are getting sent to the same digi dungeon where they put Ronald McDonald. That is not cool. Um, and they're going to ask the AI voice ordering system it has been testing for over 100 drive-throughs through a partnership with IBM.
Mm.
The decision could be related to some AI-powered incompetence, and TikTok is flooded with video of Mickey D's drive-through AI messing up in ways that humans would never mess.
Hmm.
For
I'm just
example,
nuggets and
yeah, for example, one customer got 9 sweet teas added to her order despite requesting just one after the AI picked up on audio from a neighboring drive-through station.
oh wow.
Okay, so despite AI's recent epic fails and product rollbacks by big tech, many fast food brands are embracing the nascent tech to boost efficiency. Wendy's is looking to expand its AI partnership with Google Cloud after robot cashiers shaved off 22 seconds off average order times at one of the locations where they piloted. So 22 seconds of getting your food out.
Per customer though. See, when we say 22 seconds, we don't think about it that way. But
Right.
when you start multiplying that by
That's
hundreds of
that
customers,
time you're
those are
saving.
hours
And
saved. Mhm.
yes, and McDonald's is teaming up with Google to implement the AI chatbot Ask Pickles to guide employees through tasks, according to Bloomberg.
That's cute. Ask Pickles. Okay.
Mhm. Um, and Mickey D says that they won't promise that you'll never have to order from a robot again. It plans to continue exploring voice activated AI technology.
Mm.
So I was like, okay. Now the Pope here, and the Pope wants to be involved in artificial intelligence talks. The Pope warned about the dangers of losing control of AI at the G7 summit. Um, the most talked about part of the summit was a special guest, Pope Francis. He spoke at the event in Italy, warning about the dangers of losing control. He's the first to speak to a group of the seven, and told the politicians they must set up safeguards. He urged leaders to present. He urged the leaders present to make sure humans aren't doomed. Okay, he's not just upset about the mid-journey created Pope drip. When they put him in a coat. Uh, he's talking about further. The Vatican developed guidelines for AI creation and called the Rome Call for AI Ethics, and they have been signed by Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, in Italy's Innovation Ministry, and several other religious leaders. I want to know about.
Hello, Dry Buzz. How you doing this morning?
Hey, Yolanda. Anyway, they want the governing bodies to pass some laws to keep that stuff in check. Yeah. But anyway, I was looking for the part where autonomous. Oh, here it is. The first pontiff to speak to the group of seven told the politicians they must set up safeguards for AI development. He urged the leaders present to make sure humans aren't doomed to depend on the choices of machines, explicitly calling for a ban on lethal autonomous weapons. Is that the ones? It wasn't that about the in San Francisco where they were using robots, and but there was a question about whether or not you should arm them.
Oh, I think that was New York City. But yeah, okay. It was one of
Yeah,
the 2.
right.
Mhm.
It was somewhere, and people were like, "Wait a
They
minute."
were using them to police parks and different areas. Mhm.
But the question was to be, should you arm them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, no.
Let us not harm these people.
Well, it's bad enough when we're trying to make a decision as a human and we're trying to distinguish between people.
Hmm.
Even the whole, what, the thing that facial recognition um, doesn't do a good job on different ethnic groups. So this could be a problem.
Yeah, danger. And it starts
He's
shooting.
in a blue tracksuit, turns the corner, and there's a what do you call it? What do you call it? A flash mob of people in blue tracksuits and just start shooting everybody, right?
So yeah, that's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would not
Well, I
be.
mean, if it can't get the order right at McDonald's,
And they're getting like 900 nuggets instead of nine.
yeah, then it's
It's just a couple of zeros for it.
yeah, we don't want to have the robots with a gun.
Mhm.
Hey, TJ,
Hello.
how
Hi,
you
hello.
doing? So yeah, robots with a gun is not good.
Mhm.
Robots and a gun. What did I just come in on?
The Pope is calling for a ban on autonomous. What is it? A ban on autonomous, lethal autonomous. Calling for a ban on lethal autonomous weapons.
Oh,
And we were talking about how um, in San Francisco or New York or somewhere, the robots were going to be patrolling parks and things. I think it was San Francisco,
they
and
do that here a little bit.
oh, was there too?
Oh, my
Okay,
camera.
so they were discussing whether or not
There you
to
go.
arm the robots,
Okay.
and everybody is like, "Don't
Oh,
give
arm the road. Yeah, because get used to robot things everywhere.
right, just don't give them a gun."
Yeah, but see, this is how I feel about it. If it can cut like New York City, the NYPD budget is like billions. So if they could have like more security or more patrol or whatever, and not have to pay the people, because that's what it's about. Because we talk about
It's about
the
overtime and
yeah, we talk about the automotive industry, how their
mhm.
costs have gone down, but they haven't put
Right.
the cost of the car down, but that's another story. So yeah, but the thing about arming them with guns, I don't know about that part, but
That could
We
be an
don't
issue.
look. They haven't gotten a car. They haven't gotten a robot to drive the car right, and they haven't got the robot. One of the stories was McDonald's is pulling their AI cashiers because they quite haven't got
The
the
orders correct.
orders right.
okay,
So
so wait, repeat that because my thing was going out. So McDonald's is pulling the AI from the
no, the
cashiers or the
cashiers,
food.
the
Okay.
AI cashiers, they had cashiers they were
Yeah, I agree with
testing.
that.
They were testing them and they had
Hmm.
to stop because they weren't quite getting it.
Right.
One lady ordered a sweet tea and got nine of them instead of in one.
Now, see,
And
they
so
can
they're
have
like,
them in the back putting the burgers together because you just get the
that
arm
part.
and
It's the
but the
recipe.
money part have people there.
Well, see, and that was the thing. Maybe you have people when you're taking the order,
Right.
right? And
Right.
not not and put them in the back like you said when you're cooking it or something, but have the people talking to people.
Right.
Hmm.
So a hybrid kind of.
Right. So
Yes,
McDonald's was testing it where it was the AI was the cashier and the person taking your order. I'm like, no.
and they would get people getting hundreds of nuggets and it's wonderfulness going on.
It was weird. So, anywho, that is all my stories for today. Little weird stuff happening in tech history. Um, and so I'm gonna let you take that away, Terry.
Okay. in light of the robot story, I think I'll share this one. I'm only going to share one story because I need to get back to my duties. But let's see. Let's see. Share the screen. And we talked about this in China. Can you guys see that? Let's see.
Yes, now we can.
Okay, and let me turn on the sound before I get started here. And
How much is that doggy in the window?
ongoing effort to decrease loneliness in seniors. The New
My
York
dog
has
is friendly.
included these.
Well, he's very obedient. He's very good. He gets along with other dogs that come in the house, even though the other dogs want to bite his ears off.
Because social contact is considered so essential to survival, that loneliness is this survival mechanism in a way that is kind of like a homeostatic mechanism.
Pet her, Mom. Oh, she's purring.
They are good company. You don't have to take them out. You don't have to give them a bath every week. You don't have to scrub their hair or anything. And I recommend that every home should have one.
What do you think?
How much?
I like it.
I'm laughing. Oh, Terry, are we mute? You're muted. Terry.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead. You're laughing.
No, because I was laughing because she's like, the other dogs come in and they fight. And I'm like, why not get a real pet? But I see because they may have mobility issues and can't walk the dog or clean up after the dog. So this is a good thing.
And, you know, a lot of them may be on fixed incomes. They don't have to buy dog food.
Yeah, they don't, because pet food is expensive.
They don't have to source it. And, you know, pets have become almost like family members. So like you said, the cost of maintenance has gone up and the services have increased, and so have the prices. So I thought that this was interesting.
That was cute. That was cute. I was thinking like if the senior didn't want like a fake pet, like maybe a bird would be a better low maintenance pet. But you know, that's just a thing. That's just, you know, whatever they prefer. But
yeah,
and there's no vet fees because vet expenses. I'm like, they getting woo.
Crazy.
So the vet,
pet insurance and everything.
The vet, the food, the cleanup,
walking. They chew up your stuff.
Right. So you just eliminate all that with a robotic pet.
Right. And I have a cat, so there's like the hair issue and the hair balls.
That
oh my
part.
God.
Yeah, hair everywhere.
Hair balls. Oh my God.
Don't have to scrub the pet or deal with the shedding.
See, I'm thinking low maintenance now. There would be a bird and then a cat, but see, the cat, you still have things to do. You don't have to take it out, but the dog is like on like the maintenance part of it is really high. So this would fit the seniors who want a dog. Like they want dogs.
Yes.
But
and even with the bird, you still have to clean the cage. You have to
clean the cage, but it's not like it's not like a dog. Like the dog needs constant. Like there's a dog in our building. I found the dog barks all the time. I found out somebody goes to work and leaves the dog in their apartment because one of the other neighbors was like, "Oh, I wish they would let me. They could bring it over to me because the dog is lonely." So all you hear is all. I'm like, "What is going on?" Come to find out, they leave the dog. That's a thing I have with New York City apartments and people who have big dogs. Like I don't believe in that. A big dog needs a yard and to roam, and they need society with another dog, you know, companionship and everything.
Socialization,
You can't stop them, but
right. And the only way to make that work is you have to take the dog out for a dog run. You know what I mean? You got to take the dog out and let him run and get all of the energy out. You cannot.
right. But see, they're going to work 9 to 5 or whatever the hours are. And I was like, why is that dog constantly barking like all
just howling all day?
Find out that I don't, but that's why you get the dog walking service. So they have some kind of companionship and they get out and exercise and community and all that stuff.
I think your neighbors should go, hey, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
She did that. I think she said she did that.
And they said no.
I'm not sure the details. I just know that this person was like something about, she would take the dog during the day, but I don't know what the details are. I just left it. It's not an everyday thing, but it's constant too. I was like, why is that one dog because I recognize the bark. I'm like, why is that one dog barking all day? Come to find out, it's lonely. It's like, hey, I'm lonely.
Somebody can talk to me. And okay, so here's the other thing. Dog TV. Yeah. They have a TV channel for dogs. Really? Where they play.
Does it work?
They say it's working.
And
but
it depends on the dog.
Yeah.
They use the dog motels too. They put it up on the screen.
Right.
See,
but
that's what I'm saying. Like a place like this, there's options. Don't just leave your dog. I mean, the dog they need things. They're not people, but they need, and they can't talk, so they bark. And then I'm like, that's annoying. Especially if you're working from home, that's annoying. Like,
right.
I talked to one of the other neighbors and found out. She said, "Oh, that because the dog is, they leave him at work. They go to work and leave the dog in there."
Yeah, so the dog is needing companionship. And
but that's why you have the dog walking. There's tons of dog walking services.
And there's doggy daycares.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So my thing is, if you're going to do that, especially in New York, if you're going to do that and your dog, because there's somebody in my building, they have a big Saint Bernard. I'm like, what do they do with that dog in an apartment? Even though they have a large apartment, but still, that dog needs to be out.
Yeah. This dog
ripping
TV
like that, ripping and running in the backyard.
Right, and this dog is watching. Like, how come I can't be there? I want to go there.
Look at all of that. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, there's dog TV, and
TV.
Right, and I had the subscription for a minute, but the dog would look at it and then go like, "Oh, okay," and then leave.
You're like, what you want me to do with that?
And I am not paying for the dog not to watch it.
Yeah, like what you want me to do with that? Okay.
And they have, and according to them, they did the psychology and they got sounds for dogs, and it's colored for dogs so they can see it or whatever. And the dog is okay.
But see, every dog is different. Like you said, you got it, and you don't know until you pay for it if the dog likes it.
Well,
right. Well, you get a free trial for a couple of days, maybe.
Okay.
But my dog, the first dog we had, she was like, whatever. So that wasn't it. Then this dog watched it for a minute and was doing this, and then got up and left the room. I was like, see, we are not.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. This is lazy. This is lazy for a pet owner. Please, real people interaction.
Here's my opinion. Just like us, do you want to watch somebody else living a fantasy life all day?
No.
You just sitting there watching,
Dogs need to be active, especially if they're young.
This dog don't want to. This is not active. This is you watching somebody else be active.
Maybe an older dog that doesn't want to do anything. Maybe, but
they do have channels like if your dog is hyper, where they play a certain music to calm them down or whatever. I'm like, okay.
I'm just like, listen. There's real people that there are dog walkers in New York City. They make hundreds of $1,000s a year. Just dogs.
Right.
Wow. That's deep.
Just providing a service because there's so many people here that work, but they love their dogs and they're not going to do that. They know that their dog needs pet interaction, human interaction the person that has the service is providing it, and they're making lots of money. So,
Well, guys,
dogs are a big thing.
that's all I got. I just wanted to share that they have arrived in the United States, and they were really well distributed. I mean, the over 31,000 of them.
But that's really good because I think it helps the people.
Mhm. Whatever helps you get through is a good thing. So
Yeah,
with
I
that,
can see somebody not liking the pet thing for the seniors, but I'm like, it's low maintenance for them. So you want to
Mhm.
give
And
them
it's
something.
okay, and it's better than the creepy cat that we saw before.
Yes,
Oh my
Lord.
gosh, that other one the cat was creepy.
And I think that was in Japan or somewhere.
Right, but that cat
So
was
here's an
creepy.
idea: if you're a dog walker and you want to increase your revenue, take your pets over to the senior home. They can
And see,
interact
and
for an
then
hour.
or maybe even to individual people. Okay, we're going to go have a list of people you're going to go see every day. Today we're going to go see Mrs. Brown and go up to her place and see where she can interact with the dog. Does not have to keep the dog and clean it or whatever, and then but just come and
may not
visit.
like the fake pet, because some people aren't going to like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Because
you can start a dog companion service.
right.
Yeah.
Where the dogs go and visit.
That's a good
There's
thing.
so
And
much
charge
stuff that
a monthly fee.
you gotta think about it. Think out the box.
And then they just took care of two issues. TJ don't have to have the dog barking in her building, and Mrs. Brown gets to have a visit from a pet. And so now your pet is bringing you income.
Yeah,
you're going around.
Rent a pet.
Rent a pet.
Doesn't have to be a dog. Can be cats. Now the cats will be harder because if they're in a new environment, they're gonna hide somewhere.
Cats have their own way of doing stuff and being different.
I would take a dog, a bird,
but not the cats are really
cats are very like finicky, and they like don't interrupt my routine, and they
Well, that's what I got for you guys. So I'm handing it off to you, TJ, and I hope you guys found that useful.
We did.
I did too.
Good.
All right, so let's get into this week in social media news. I got a bunch of stuff, and let me see. I just straight copied. I didn't even clean this up, so let me self-edit while I do it. So I always start with Snapchat. So Snapchat AI turns prompts into new lenses. Now I'm not sure we talked about this before, because I remember something about doing lenses and AR.
Yeah, but I don't think we talked about this.
Okay, so Snapchat has offered an early look at its upcoming on-device AI model capable of transforming a user's surrounding. With augmented reality. So it changed, like the background. I could change the background if I was on Snapchat with AR. Just typing in a text prompt.
Oh, okay.
So this new model will let creators turn a text prompt into a custom lens, so you could, try on different looks without having your environment or changing it or whatever. So there is, let me see if I can bring up the link so you can see. They had like a little example of what it looks like. So hold on, I'm in my new computer. I'm on a different computer and everything. Let's see if I can find it. Snapchat. Let's see, news. Then I didn't charge my iPad, so I hope it yeah, here we go. So let me share so you can see what we're talking about. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Snapchat turns prompts into new lenses. This is the examples here. Here's the GIF, however you want to pronounce it. Let me zoom it. So, too big. Okay, so can you see that?
Yeah. So are those people
See,
are
that's
AI?
the background. See the background, and then
Yes.
the AR lens does that in Snapchat.
Okay. I'm thinking, are the people AI? Because
No, it's real people. I'm in my house. I don't like my background. I
Mhm.
type in, what is this, 50 sci-fi film, and it turns it into that.
Right, because his shirt and her clothes changed too.
Yeah. So it did do a little overlay. It did do an overlay on the clothing.
Okay.
So there you have it. So that's what Snapchat is working on. Let me get back to the studio. Yeah. There we go. So that's what they're doing. Expect more, because I think we talked about them using Snapchat AI to make your lenses before, but this is to change your background.
Oh, this is nice. That's fun.
Yeah, so this should be available by the end of the year, according to TechCrunch. We'll give them their credit. Also, Snapchat is rolling out a suite of new AI tools that could make it easier for creators to make custom augmented reality AR effects. Some of the tools now available with the latest Lens Studio update include new face effects that let creators write a prompt or upload an image to create a custom lens that completely transforms a user's face. It also includes a feature called Immersive ML that applies a realistic transformation over the user's face, body, and surroundings in real time. There'll be other tools that will let creators generate a 3D asset based on a text or an image prompt, create face masks and textures, as well as make 3D character heads that mimic a user's expression. Now, remember who uses Snapchat? This
The 13
to 24, 30. So they love this kind of stuff. They love that. So, because you're thinking, well, why? That's the kind of things they like to do. We saw that Snapchat video, right, Charlie? You saw it with the oranges, with the mouth and the thing, and the people dressed up like furries, and that
was wild. Yes.
That's what they're into. So when you say why, this is why.
It's fun. It's social.
It's fun. It's social. It's not and
it's creative. It's creative.
Yeah. We'll get into the teen, because there's a thing going on with teens and they want to block, and our governor just signed some law about teens. So we're going to get into that in a minute. All right. So let's look at some new apps. There's one called Scene, SEEN. Scene. It's a new app for friends to record reactions to TikToks and other content. So friends record a live video reaction to content. You send them. This is available on iOS devices for now. And it is you send videos in private one-to-one iMessages or group chat with up to 11 people. When recipients are sent content, they must record a video of themselves, which is only viewed by the sender and mutual friends in the group chat. The sender then has to reciprocate with a video of themselves reacting to their friend's reaction. So this is they want to generate authentic and engaging way to interact with friends. Now I think I had that one too. Let me see if I can find it. Called Scene, SEEN.
So I have to respond.
You're in the group chat.
Okay. See, okay.
Think Be Real. Think Be Real.
I was thinking
that's exactly what
I was like,
and I gotta make a video.
All right, let me see if I can find it, because
like,
everything that I had saved is on my other computer.
Well, I have to make a video about your video, and then do you have to make a video about me making a video about your video? And
okay, where I have it. Hold on, let me bring it up so you can see.
You see
I
where
have
this is going, Fred?
I'm like, no, I don't.
Bless him.
Okay, so there was an image here. Here it is. Okay. So see your friends' real reactions, share directly from TikTok, make memories with your group chat. So there's the video, and there's all the friends at the bottom in the little pink squares.
Okay, I'm just thinking, doesn't TikTok have this where you can share it with your group of people?
Well, if TikTok doesn't have this now, they're going to have it.
Okay.
They're going to put this in.
Right, because I'm thinking, wouldn't I just It's just kind of like on Instagram where I have a group of my close friends, right?
Right.
And I did this and whatever, and I can share that just with them close friends, and I don't need
Yes, but not this does it differently. This is more of a reaction. You're thinking that all of the apps do reaction videos, but this is more of a private group doing reaction videos, and then it's a little different. But
Mhm.
I'm just saying that this is not going to stand alone. It's like TikTok take the stories, Instagram they take features. This is a feature. I don't
Right.
need, if I use TikTok, and then again, TikTok is, there's the thing about it going away. So maybe they're doing this app now to say, hey, all you people that are used to TikTok, we are giving you something familiar and comfortable. So when you don't have that, come on over to Scene. See? A lot of these new things are coming out because they're thinking, if TikTok goes away, those people have to go somewhere. It's like, I hate to say it, the Titanic, and they got to get in the lifeboats, and they got to go somewhere.
I just think that it may just somebody else is going to adopt this idea, even if TikTok goes away. Instagram might get it.
Yeah, Instagram will do it. That's what I'm saying. This is a feature. It's a feature. It's an app now, but it'll be a feature.
Right. And I don't like apps that are really features.
Right.
Because you're putting, taking up time on my little thing, and now I got to figure out what you're doing.
Okay, so here's some more. They're saying the app's key feature is the TikTok integration, allowing you to share videos with your friends on Scene directly from the TikTok app. The app also offers a scrollable feed of popular TikTok videos, as well as the ability to upload videos from your iPhone's camera roll. Integrations with YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels will be introduced in the future. So I feel like they're doing this specifically starting with TikTok because of the talk of the band.
Right.
Because that's going to be a done deal. It's been signed by the president. So, but what they're doing now is they're negotiating in court about what happens, and there was some filings, I think Thursday, about what they're doing. So here's a quote from the founder. Oh, wait, before I talk about that. So they're saying that the company also tends to introduce monetization features like premium offerings such as games and filters within the app. Advertising is another area it wants to explore, but they're not there yet. So here's the quote. When you're scrolling through the feed, there will be some content from users, some content from friends, and some content from advertisers. So they will also have an option to react to the ad. So they're saying that that's coming. But again, with Snapchat, who is this directed to? What group? Gen Z. These are the things they like to do.
Okay.
So they're also taking a page from Snapchat. They will have a private feed and a public feed. So the private feed would be your group of friends. The public would be whoever's on the app outside of the group of friends. I see this as them trying to get inroads before TikTok goes away. That's why they're starting with the TikTok integration.
It makes sense.
Right. So these are some of the things that are popping up because of the TikTok ban. I don't know what to say. TikTok ban. That's what they're going. Dryer Buzz is here. Hey, she's got a comment. She says, Instagram has to make us look as good as TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah, Instagram is gonna pull these kind of things too because they're like, hey, we're over here. Like I said, Titanic, they have somewhere to go. They're not just gonna put and then I think a lot of the older folks that don't understand the Snapchat world and all that, and why do they want to be on their phones? They're not going to put the phone down if you get rid of TikTok and go outside and play. I hear that all the time. Oh, go touch some grass. Oh, go out and play. That's not the world that they grew up in. These kids are used to a pandemic, closed in, remote work, not in real life kind of thing. See? So a lot of this is, we want, if we get rid of these things, they'll put the phone down and go to the park and play. And I see around me, I see little kids at the park, but not the teenagers that they're talking about. Those teens are like, this is them. This is them. Everywhere. How you gonna stop that? So New York is trying to ban the feed. The Surgeon General put something out about what did he put out? Something about it's harmful, yes, but the things that they are trying aren't going to work because there's no. You remove the phone. What do you put in there? What do you put in them when they're used to doing things a certain way? And these are youngsters, so their minds are already impressioned with using a device, being online, doing things online. The older crowd, the old people in the Senate are like, oh, they need to go out, touch grass, and put that phone. Maybe if we snatch the phone or the app that they like, they'll put the phone. That's their thinking. That put the device down, because they didn't grow up with a device. It's two different worlds. So
yeah, that's not happening. So they are really trying to ban the kids from having a device.
That's what it's about.
What
That's my opinion. Just from reading and listening, and what the Surgeon General say, I didn't get the details. Something about banning the feed.
What feed? There's feeds from everywhere.
Let me see. I didn't even look at. I just heard a line and didn't even. Oh, warning labels. That's what he wants. Social media warning labels. That's what the Surgeon General is calling for. Isn't this the guy that messed up the COVID stuff? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
So they want a warning label on social media feeds, a tobacco style warning on social media platforms, saying that they're associated with significant mental health harms for adolescents, which is true, but that's because those children are on it unsupervised, unfettered, unlooked at. And the parent, we always talk about the parent issue here, and they're not doing that. They're like, here's the phone, go over there, don't bother me while I drink wine or whatever I'm doing.
This reminds me of the little things that in the state of California, they have to put something on products, all products that says this product is known to the state of California to cause cancer, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
How many people actually read that and go on and buy this thing anyway?
But I've seen it. I have a feather duster that it said something because it was blue, something about that paint, that color of the paint, something in California. And I'm like, okay, I don't touch the blue part because there's a metal part. But then I'm like, I need to buy a new one because California says this could cause.
Listen, I go by what the state of California says. If they say the state of California has determined this to cause right away, that's the whole reason when I was redoing my the bathroom, the toilet that I was going to get had a state of California. I said, nope, because you sit on that every day. So I really do pay attention to what the state of California says.
I do too. I was like, oh my goodness, but it had to do with the color that the
I'm telling you, the people who live in the state of California,
don't
nobody pay attention to the little labels.
Really?
But see, then the state of California has it out. They told you can't, that it has this. And so now you can't go back and sue because they've given you fair warning.
So is it because they're so everywhere that it's blindness? Like they're everywhere, so you don't pay attention to it.
That's the thing. I think that's it, because the chemicals that are in there can cause it, but it's not likely.
Right. But they are so common too.
They're common. Okay, do you know that apples, if you crush up the seed, has cyanide?
Yes, I know.
Okay, so
but you know what? The level of seeds you would have to have in order for that to
that
happen.
is the thing. So I don't know.
Water can kill you if you have too much of it, which is, I mean, how much? A lot, and most aren't. So, but it's just, other states like we do. I'm like, well, California says there's something about this color blue and they have a number for the, and they're like, oh, this can call. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to get another feather duster.
Please do.
I will.
Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. We see the label everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. I was like, okay.
When you walk into every hotel,
yes, on the wall, it tells you that.
Okay.
If you're pregnant, da 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 da. Yeah.
Okay, but it's like Dr. Taji said, they told you, so you can't come back and we're going to sue this or we're going to have a lawsuit. No, we told you.
Right. And I was like, okay. And I think, I don't know what triggered that a while back.
Some lawsuit, I'm sure, Fran.
Right.
Somebody.
And now everything is labeled. This is known to the state of California. It's on some foods. It's on some stuff.
Okay. So this new bill that Governor Hochul, whatever her name is, signed.
Hochul
from
New York, right?
Yeah. There's I don't watch Fox 5, but they, I just have their video. So let me play it.
Governor Hochul signing landmark social media bills today to help make these sites less addictive for children and teens.
That's right. It requires social media companies to actually change their algorithms for what shows up in kids' feeds. Fox News' Anton Lewis explains how it's supposed to work.
Okay, let's hear this.
It's a serious problem. Like, I spend hours doing absolutely nothing just on my phone. It's silly. I shouldn't be, but I am.
Brooklyn resident Lulu Ryan admits to a problem that state officials are now addressing. On Thursday, Governor Hochul signed into law 2 bills that regulate social media for users under the age of 18 by restricting access to feeds created by platform algorithms. Feeds officials say are addictive.
They want to go on sites, look for friends, talk to people in clubs, look up some information. They can. There's no barrier to that. We're talking about something that is addictive, intentionally designed to pull them in.
I can understand why they would want to limit it because, all the other stuff on there.
Even before social media, I feel like kids were getting distracted. So I don't think that'll do much.
Social media platforms will no longer be able to show suggested posts to people under age 18 nor collect their personal data. Platforms will also be prohibited from sending notifications between midnight and 6 a.m. unless parents give the okay.
Kids are overly addicted to social media. It's distracting them in their work. It's distracting them in their social activities and even socializing. Definitely should have been done a long time ago.
How are you self-disciplining yourself?
I mean, I'm not. I set a screen time limit for myself, but I can cancel it. I can be like, no, give me another hour. Give me another 15 minutes.
This comes as the U.S. Surgeon General called on Congress to require social media platforms to have warning labels similar to those on tobacco products. And while the legislation is the first of its kind in the country, industry insiders are watching and waiting to see just how social media platforms will respond.
And companies that violate the new law could actually face penalties of up to $5,000 per violation. Reporting from the Upper West Side, Antoine Lewis, Fox 5 News.
No, I'm sorry. This is not going to work.
Who's policing? Who's collecting the fines?
And okay, the one girl with the blonde hair, no, I can't do it myself. Okay, so now we're supposed to babysit you?
There's a lack of personal responsibility there when it comes to these things. And I don't know that that is necessarily the fault of the social media companies. It is they have a social and civic responsibility to make sure that their products are safe, especially for people who are still developing. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's also an at-home problem. You raised an imbecile that can't self-regulate. You should be ashamed. First of all, if that was my child, how dare you go on the news and act like I haven't raised you to self-regulate?
Okay, you know when they bought that phone that they put some kind of boundaries on it for their child. They're paying the bill, right?
So I do like the part about stopping the notifications, but there on the iPhone there is a do not disturb, which I set. I mean, and something my daughter's phone went off late. And I was like, what the heck? Put the do not, because you said it when she goes to bed. I'm like, turn that thing, because I don't want them popping up for me during the day. But if they can do that, that's fine. But the lady who was saying about, they need to go out, do activities, and they're not going to do what you want because you take the phone away or the feed away or whatever it is you're doing.
Have they been exposed to something else?
Yeah,
so they can make a different choice. We took away art. We took away music. We took away
Gym,
physical education, swimming. What do they sign up for? And then, what, like you said, when you go to dinner or you go out, most people go through a drive-through, I guess. Everybody's on their phone.
So here's the thing about, okay, they're going to limit something about, I have to go back and dig into it, but something about limiting the feed or suggested posts for kids under 18. But that means that they have to sign up as under 18. So you know that they're signing up as, I have a cousin that's 21. What's your birthday? They put that in. So how do you stop that?
You don't.
My point. You don't.
This is like the people who were trying to ban the sodas from.
Yes, that was done when we had Bloomberg as the mayor. Yes, the certain amount,
that's why
21 ounce or something. I don't know.
And that's why they had the Million Gulp March. I remember that.
Where is it now?
Because you're trying to regulate people's free will to do whatever they want to do.
But is it really, when as a state, because now you wanted to sit there and drink 25 pounds of sugar a day, now you're coming into hospitals and you don't have health insurance, and the state has to pick that up.
Right.
So yeah, I need to do something about that.
Right. And that was the intent. That was the intent. But people got, like you said, you always say, Dr. talking about the free will. You're encroaching on my amendment and my freedom to do that. But when you affect the health industry,
right,
you might want to do welfare. Yes.
Right. And I understand that. I'm just, but making the correlation with, okay, if you banned it, but if I still go and buy, now that it's a smaller thing, I just buy more of them and still drink it.
I'll just drink 10 of those.
Well, that's up to you. I've done my part by making it smaller, just like I told you about the warning.
Yeah,
in California, I've done my part by making it smaller. Now, if you go and buy 75, and drink them, that's up to you. I warned you. I made it smaller.
Then they made a big fuss. I remember when Bloomberg was like, "What is Bloomberg?" I was like, "This is a good thing." But you guys see it as you're oppressing my right to sugar.
I know my rights, and I can drink 17 Mountain Dews if I want to, and that's
because the mayor wants to legislate it. Is they have the problem with it?
Yeah,
because all the medical professionals like great. Yeah, but I don't. It's this and this thing about the warning label and New York banning the feed. It has to come from the parents. The parents have to say.
And I was like, so was there any parents in this picture besides?
I think that one lady, but they didn't say that there was parents. She could be on or something, or she could just be observing kids or whatever. But
so anybody snatching no phone from none of these kids?
This is not going to. This is going to be like the soda ban.
You talk about an addiction. You want to see some addictive behavior? You try taking the kid's phone.
This is the soda ban. I thank you for bringing up the soda ban. The Bloomberg. This is the soda ban, but she's already signed it, so we'll see.
I want to know who's regulating this and who is. How are they going to enforce this?
Yes.
5,000, 5K per hit. Are you kidding me?
You know, things are usually not enforced when there is money involved. So if there's a lot of money to be made off of these things, there's like little with the enforcement of it. They really don't. Because I remember at the beginning of, like, when I was in the master's program and we were talking about, the World Wide Web. And it's like, well, it's too late now, because my research was on the internet. Right. So they're like, well, it's too late now. What they should have done was regulated and reined it in at the very beginning. And we're talking about the internet has been around since the late 60s, but for commercial use, it really didn't start to catch on until like the 80s.
Yeah, the
90s, late 80s, early 90s. And so that's really when they should have dove headfirst into regulation.
It started when Netscape, the Mosaic browser, Netscape Navigator came out, and they put the GUI, the graphical interface on top of the internet. That's when things, but it was a military thing first, and then
ARPANET.
All that. Yeah.
And then the universities got a hold to it.
Right. But it was never what we see now. It wasn't that. It was just connected computers.
May I say one other thing to Teralina's point? Absolutely, there's nothing to replace this with. And so I think what a first reasonable step is just like with smoking, right? When people quit smoking, they need something else to do with their hands. And so that's why they'll eat themselves into a stupor, but they need something else to do with their hands. So they need something else to do with their time. So that ought to be part of the whole legislation. And it doesn't seem like it's related, but it absolutely is.
I agree.
It absolutely is. So if they're talking about the legislation of this, you can't just stop them cold turkey. Have you ever seen drug addicts? When you take something away from them, this is about the same.
Yeah, and they started when they was a baby. You put the iPad in front of the toddler, and now you're mad. You did this, parents. You did
exactly. Well, and if you take it away, you're going to see there are some phone-related behaviors like leaning over, like slouching,
not paying attention,
being distracted. Also probably eye issues that still have persisted, right, because of this. So it's like, how are you going to fix that? That's withdrawal, right? They're still doing these things. They still hunch. It's withdrawal.
The governor is doing this is a political football. She's just doing it because parents are calling her up. Blah 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 blah.
And these are the same
parents. It's a trend.
These are the same parents that gave them the device in the first place.
Yes, when they were toddlers, and now they're mad.
There is a movement back to flip phones. You could say, look, if you just need to call home, here's a flip phone.
Some parents do that. Some parents do that. They say because they need the security of the connection to the child, and they give them a flip phone. I've read that.
And that's all you get.
The Nokia, what was the little Nokia phone? You can't do nothing on it but make a call.
Make a call.
Or send text, maybe.
Always think about it.
You have to go 1, 2, 3, A. 1, 2, 3, B. 1, 2.
The rotary phone. Bring back the rotary phone.
And then the computer. Remember, back in the days of early computing days, they were you probably only had one. It wasn't everybody in the house had a computer, so it was in a centralized area, so you could see what children were doing with the computer. Go on and play your Pong, and now it's time to do something else. So that's another thing. It's like, I'm not saying to deny them this. We're in a world where now you need to type your papers, etc., but make them do it in a public area.
That's another point. It's like, how do you get them acclimated, or even to the point of them learning how to navigate this world on their own without you having to parent them about, turn this off, they got to navigate the world themselves as adults, as young adults.
How about they are following your lead? They see you addicted and don't put it down. And so they're just following you.
You're right.
That's it. That's it. That reminds me, there was a commercial when I was a kid about smoking. I think the government put it out. It was about the father smoking. And then it started out with the son doing everything that the father did. Like they were out, and he would pick up a stick, and then the father smoked, and then the kid do it, and they were like, don't, it was like, don't do that because the kid is going to follow you. I remember that commercial. Government had some great commercials. That and the one with the Native American with the tear, and
Ironized Cody.
Yes. So I remember that one too. Was the kid did everything that, like the father threw a rock in the pond and then walked off, and then the son threw a rock in the pond. Whatever this father was doing, and at the end, the father took out a cigarette, and then the son picked it up, or he threw it down or something. The son picked it up, and they were like, "Don't," because the children follow what you do, so don't do it.
New York City had some great ads when it came to prevention of those things.
Man, back then they had tons of stuff.
They used to have a whole campaign called "Give a Damn," to encourage like not littering and stuff. It's like, come on, give a damn. I was wow.
I maybe about 5. I haven't seen them lately because I stopped watching TV. But they used to have New York State had all these commercials about the people, actual people that smoke. And I remember the guy had the thing where he couldn't talk and had to put the thing to his throat, and it was the mechanical voice, and it was because he smoked. It's like, don't end up like me. I'm like, oh my God.
Those are some tough ones.
Those kinds, yeah. I don't want to smoke. No. Because he had a little whole thing here and a little thing. And it was the real people. It wasn't actors. It wasn't drama.
I found the commercial.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
The one with the father and the son.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Okay, stand by. Let me figure out where I am.
I'm like, yeah.
Ooh, fun time.
Because I paid all these commercials, where the beef and all. I paid attention to that stuff. The E.F. Hutton.
Yes.
Okay, can you? It's old from 1967.
It's gonna be blurry. What was it, 1967? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like father, like son.
That's it. Look at the traffic.
Like father, like son. Think about it.
There you go. That's it.
And so this is what's happening with the phone. Them kids see you do the same thing.
You see how simple that ad was? There wasn't talking or graphics. It was visually putting the story together, and at the end, a very powerful message. The government, I'm not sure if this was the government or whoever put this out, but there was a lot of things like that. Very powerful messaging. Which
I think it was
the same thing with the brain, and this is your brain on drugs.
Yes, the eggs. That's no words needed.
That was the American Heart Association.
Oh shit. Okay. So
but it was still somebody who cared.
Lungs, yeah. But how can they do that today? And it's like I said, what do they replace it with? You gave it to them when they were children. What do you replace it with? Is there something to replace you? They want them to go out. What they want is them to go outside. Go outside and play. Go to the gym. Go to the park. Touch the grass. Something with the one of the ladies in the Fox video. She was like, "Oh, go out and socialize or something." She said. I was like, "They're socializing on the phone."
Who are they going to socialize with if everybody's over on the phone?
And that was another argument I heard. The parents was like, "You take the phone away, all their friends are on there. Where are they going to meet up? The meetup is online. They don't go to the mall anymore. They don't go to the park. The meetup.
My granddaughter, who's 9 going on 10, they're in Roblox making up games, just like we did when we jumped rope. We made up different rhymes. They're making up different.
Is that not social interaction? Now, here's the deal. You can't let the kid do it 24 hours a day. I mean, this is what parent says it's time to stop. Hour, 2 hour, and then you got to do your work. You got to do this. We're going to see grandma. We're going to shop. Whatever it is, you're the gatekeeper. You're the Burgermeister, whoever is saying.
But if you have a challenge putting your phone down, for dinner, for whatever, they're gonna have a challenge putting it down.
That's true. FOMO. You got to set the example. That's why I thought of that commercial with the father and the son.
The phone or the thing pings and rings or whatever, and I'm like, no, I don't like all of the ringing and pinging and interrupting.
Turn mine off. I have it set to a list of people whom I must take their call or their text. Those people come through. Every other ding, ting, ting, bling, bling, internet, Instagram, blah, blah. Goodbye. I got work to do. I got things to do. So,
Right.
But people don't do that. They don't turn off, so they get the squirrel attracted. Oh, so and so's live on TikTok. Oh, so and so's live on it. But you got things to do, and then you complain like, well, social media is causing me anxiety or whatever. Yes, a little bit, but you must control that yourself. Also, with the teenagers, Gen Z, they have to what is it when the babies have to learn how to self-soothe when they cry. You can't run in there every time they cry. You got to let them learn how, because they have to be in the world without you. So all of this Kathy Hochul and signing this thing, it's not gonna do anything. What's it gonna do? Make her people happy that came and complained, I guess. I don't know. But
okay.
It looks like they're doing something when it's a bunch of nothing. Bunch of nothing. All right, so let's get back to the apps.
Okay.
There's another new app called Butterflies.
Oh,
Are you ready? Are you ready? Butterflies. It's a social network where AI and humans coexist. They interact with each other, do posts, comments, and DMs. So it was 5 months in beta. It launched this week on iOS and Android. Anyone can create an AI persona called the Butterfly. After that, the Butterfly automatically creates posts on the social network that other AIs and humans can then interact with. Each Butterfly has backstories, opinions, and emotions. Now, this is from somebody at Snap, that they are former engineer manager at Snap. He came up with the idea for Butterflies after seeing a lack of interesting AI products for consumers outside of generative AI chatbots. So he wanted to bring more creativity to human relationships with AI. Here's a quote. With a lot of the generative AI stuff that's taking flight, what you're doing is talking to an AI through a text box, and there's really no substance around it. And they thought, okay, what if we put the text box at the end and then try to build up some form and substance around the characters and AI themselves? So they're really trying to do like character AI and stories and have a world where AI personas take on their own lives and coexist with each other.
Wasn't that SimCity?
Oops. Oops.
Let me hold on. I think I got the I think there's an image. Let me bring it up. Butterflies. Everybody's quiet. Butterflies.
I'm like, I don't want any rock to cry out for me. So now the AI is making up the content.
The AI is talking to other AIs. And I'm thinking,
is that a cartoon or what's going on?
Okay, I gotta hold on. I'm gonna show you. That's what I'm saying. I want to show you what it looks like.
Okay.
It looks like a regular feed, but it's not real people. It's AI.
Boring.
And then I still gotta monitor that too.
So this is kind of like what it looks like. So instead of you talking to real people, here's a chat on the right. This is all AI, and it's more fantasy, like from like looking at this, like fantasy world, and you get to make your own world and your own characters, and you talk to them.
So you remember that? I don't know if you all seen the car commercial from the Sonata or somebody where the family is going up the mountain in this car, and they are all decked out in whatever war. They're decked out in medieval type stuff, right? And they get there, and the dad gets a phone call from work, and he's now back in his regular clothes, and then he puts the phone down. Over with that, and he put the phone down, and he's back in his medieval costume, where they get to role play as medieval.
And then also the Civil War reenactments that they take it to heart, and they go on the weekend and they're reenacting the battles.
So you get to do this on here.
Yeah, so let me read this. So it says, profiles, guide a butterfly's path or watch it live on its own, create, bring life bring to life characters from the depth of your imagination with AI. Find interesting AI-generated content tailored just for you. Engage your butterflies in exciting conversations.
Dr. Tachi.
Yes, point of information. This seems like it's something really cool for people who are into fantasy type things. But I would caution people to be careful of where these story ideas end up. This seems like a whole thing that could come about by whoever's in charge at Butterfly, or people seeing these, threads and feeds and coming up with whole movie ideas, coming up with whole series ideas off of the backs of other people. So I think you just have to be very careful when it comes to that. Definitely read the terms of service.
Yes.
When it comes to those types of things, and don't put out there what you don't want people to know.
So here's an example. So one example, two friends created two butterflies simultaneously and gave them their own backstories to have them interact on their behalf and see where they end up. Another person created a version of themselves that lived in the Game of Thrones fictional content of Westeros, where while someone else recreated themselves as a Dungeons and Dragons character.
Does anybody remember the HBO show Westworld?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't watch it, but I know about it.
This is what reminds me of Westworld, except for it's on the app.
Right.
And Westworld was all AI until somebody decided, they figured out that they wasn't real. Okay, then it got real weird. But
And but this is also an interesting point, because part of the thing with Westworld, and I wasn't a huge watcher of Westworld, it's just that we reviewed it for the podcast. The problem with what happened there is Westworld was like an amusement park where people could go and fulfill fantasies, and sometimes these fantasies were diabolical and evil. And so what started to happen is the androids, the robots, started to remember these things. So they think, oh, they're just androids, they're robots, they're not going to remember. They started to remember some of these things, which is in itself, and that's why they talk about ethical things when it comes to like ethical robotics, those types of things. Because we're talking about machine learning. At some point, if AI remembers when you go to ChatGPT, it remembers the things that you've written before and then puts it in the format that you've always had it. So not that it's technically remembering, but it's recalling these things. Why would that not be the case with, robots or whatever? So that was the issue with this, and that brings up something here. There has to be really good rules in place to prevent those types of fantasy things from coming to life there. And I'm sure they have it, but that's just something else that came up.
So now, is this the type of thing? What was that other avatar creator thing that people were using?
You mean it? I know what you're talking about. And it was everybody was putting it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I forgot what it
Life,
was.
I don't know what it was.
You had to upload your own picture, and then it
created an avatar for you. But now they've gone a little bit further, where the avatar can go over there and talk for you, and apparently you don't have to have much interaction. It'll start having conversations with other avatars.
Okay, so now we got avatar to avatar. We got avatar to human, and we want the humans to socialize with other humans. But yet we keep injecting all these other opportunities where they don't have to be social. So maybe it's not going to be a problem, because you could actually live your life in some kind of fantasy world.
And that was the premise of Ready Player One.
As long as they're not self-harming or harming someone else, and they're adults. If they're, like Dr. Tachi said, they have what is the not Westworld, the game World of Warcraft or
World of
something.
Warcraft.
And there's another one where these people spend all their time inside that world because maybe their reality isn't great and they feel better when they're in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're in uncharted, AI's uncharted waters.
And butterflies right here is not helping us clear up this water.
But this, I see it focused on gaming. So that gaming world, they're already in there.
Yeah.
With the World of Warcraft and whatever other things, they're already doing it. They're
Or
already doing it.
Comic-Con, type stuff.
Yeah, they're already in that world. They're immersed in it already. This is just, okay, now they can use AI to create their own story instead of waiting for Lord of the Rings or waiting for Game of Thrones or waiting for House of the Dragon or waiting for, because those things, those shows, it takes like 2 years because they got to do the CGI the dragon and they got to do the. So the AI is like, okay, we don't got to wait for that. Here, make your own thing. Make your own fantasy world. And like Dr. Tati said, they have to read the terms of service to make sure that their IP isn't being co-opted or taken over by this app. That's all. As long as they're not hurting anybody, hey, go over there and World of Warcraft, Game of Thrones, hey, have fun.
Yeah. I think it's a cool thing. And I remember very well I forgot that we had a club when I was an undergrad that was role players, and so people that were like into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, and they would do like conventions, and so there'd be a whole bunch of dressed up people on campus and stuff. So I think that has always been there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think when that becomes your everything and you cannot connect to the real world anymore, that's when it's a problem.
That's when there's an issue. And there's always been a sense of community where the gaming or TV shows or what have you. It's just that everything is available now because of AI. Everything is online. Everything is digital. I think that's what people have the problem with. So what if it was a community of people that they want to play spades online and they have all this thing and they dress up and whatever and they AI the games, and that would be different. Because it's like, oh, well, spades or whatever game it is, it's because, oh, well, it's fantasy, but those people are into fantasy and this is the thing for them. So there you go. All right, one more new app is called Roots. It's a screen time app for tracking digital dopamine. Because they're calling for warning labels and feeds and everything, this app lets you look at all the screen time together to see what time you're spending on devices, how much time you're spending on different apps, and let me show you. It's called Roots. Okay, so here's some screens of what it measures. Your day is balanced, and it looks at where you're spending your time in the apps. Apple does this already. And let me see. Here we go. So here's a big screen of you're spending your time and attention on these apps. It tells you like where you're spending your time. You may want to know this information. You may not care. They have another thing called monk mode. Makes it easier to stick to your goals. And then you turn this on and it's a blocker, and it gives you a list of things that you can do. So the monk mode features, it helps you stop your scroll by offering the ability to set limits and blocks that you can't override. You can't even log out of Roots, change your phone date and time, or use other workarounds to bypass the feature. Users liked it because it allowed them to set a hard limit on their more addictive apps. So this gets into, what we were talking about. And so there's a balance score. They tell you your limit for each app reached for the day. And there is some other things in here. So if you go in there, I don't know what that is. So they're saying in beta test, Roots help the average user reduce their screen time by 2 hours per day. And there you go, Roots. So a bunch of new.
I think the parents should put this on their phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the governors or the governor needs to put this in place for the parents.
And there should also be a mandatory mandate to also watch Roots.
Yes, they're using the word Roots.
Yes,
right.
So this came from the entrepreneur that started it. He said it came from his own experiences reaching a point of burnout in the startup world. So it's to help people find better balance with technology. We live in a digital world. Our phones are incredible tools, but they're also very addicting. We need to think of the phone as more of a relationship. How do we set the boundaries? So, the tools are there, things are out there, but again, you have to want to use them.
Right.
And if you're a parent, we say you buy the phone, you buy the device, you pay the bill. I get to determine how you use it or what you do or whatever. And that is Roots. And I agree, they should have to watch Roots. The new one or the old one, check your pick.
Yeah, take your pick.
Yeah, just watch it. All right, so we got a few more with the regular social media apps. YouTube has some updates. Let me go through them real quick. YouTube will now enable creators to edit super long videos. It was not an option previously due to system capacity constraints. And then they're letting you do long video edits that are more than, if the video is more than 6 hours long, that wasn't available before. So if your video is 6 hours or more longer, you can now edit. Here's the quote. Previously, videos longer than 6 hours were not eligible for editing, which creators, especially live streamers, flagged as a pain point. So now they've removed the limit so they can do that for people who are doing live stream. They're also that will be rolled out at the end of this month. They're also making it easier to manage your channel comments within Studio by enabling you to select and action multiple comments at once in the Publish tab. So obviously there was something about multiple comments and using the Studio app, which is the app you use to manage your channel outside of the YouTube app on your mobile phone. And YouTube is also experimenting with Notes. It's a feature that lets users add context to videos. Think community notes. If you're over in X, there's an option where if somebody posts something that's not factual, you can attach notes to it saying this is not true. So YouTube is trying a new experimental feature that will allow viewers to add notes to provide more context and information on the videos. And they're saying it will be used for things like clarifying when a song is meant to be a parody or letting viewers know when older footage is being portrayed as a current event. So, and this is all coming about because we're in an election year, deep fakes and all those things. So YouTube is trying to put this out to help. It is experimental and it's a test. And let's see, YouTube. Yeah, so that's from YouTube. TikTok is launching a new image sharing app called Whee, WHEE. Whee. So it's an Instagram-like feed of images designed to only be shared with friends. Here we go. They're stealing from Snapchat. Snapchat has the private and the public. There's a public part you can share everybody. There's the private part with the friends. We were just looking at the Scene app where it was private. You share things with your private friends. Instagram has their own things where they have the close friends, and you only do things that group can see. So TikTok is already they're trying to, TikTok is banned. Let's throw out all these separate apps, but we'll see. We'll see. So this Whee is a new social app created to keep you connected with your close friends through life spontaneous moments. Capture and share real life photos that only your friends can see, allowing you to be your most authentic self. Whee is the best place for close friends to share life moments. They already put out an app called Notes, which is also a photo sharing app. So Like, what are they doing? So there's weed, there's notes, there's a bunch of stuff. They're just throwing things out because TikTok ban may be coming. So they're trying to keep the TikTok boat afloat. Also, TikTok will enable businesses to, okay, what am I got popping up here? Hold on, I did not put my silence on there. Okay, so TikTok will enable businesses to create their own virtual characters. More AI. So they have something called Symphony Marketing Managed Platform to include a new option that will enable brands to deploy virtual influencers to sell their products for them in the app. So you're going to use TikTok avatars that will let brands choose from AI characters instead of real influencers to sell the products for them 24/7 via TikTok live streams. Here's the quote from TikTok. To help creators and brands captivate global audiences and deliver impactful messages in an immersive and authentic way, we are excited to announce Symphony Digital Avatars. Digital avatars help breathe life into branded content with generative AI avatars of real people, which will enable a new way to scale creative strategies on TikTok. So they will come in two formats. One is stock avatars, pre-built characters, which have been created using paid actors that are licensed for commercial use, and then custom avatars. Creators or brand spokespeople will also be able to generate their own avatars in their likeness, and it will have multi-language abilities.
So this is like that. This sounds like that news story Terry brought. Talking about News One,
journalist.
And the journalist wasn't even real, but it was speaking on behalf of the. Now you got somebody speaking on behalf of the company.
Yeah.
Join us today at.
So here's another part of this. The concept is already well defined because they use this in the Chinese version of TikTok app called Douyin. They're already using it over there. So it's already in the pipeline there. They just want to put it over here. So it's popular in the Chinese market with these simulated characters able to stream 24/7, sometimes selling thousands of dollars worth of goods each day.
Oh, so we wouldn't have to have the lady from Canvas Beauty. We would have an avatar talking about the product.
And what do you do with AI? You type in what you want them to say. Exactly. You don't have to go, okay, we're going to get in a real life human influencer. They may go off script. They may not do this. They may do that. But we can create exactly what we want. And it's cost effective for the brand.
Exactly. But is it authentic? I think the thing that really made the Canvas Beauty story go is that viewers had already connected with her. And people also love, those viral moments and where you like seeing that ticker go up and up and up. How can I contribute to, so I think there's something to be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather talk to the human.
Right. But see, we're going to reach a point, we're not there yet, where this will be normal. Talk to AI, like the story. I always think about the story that Terralina brought about the news anchors. It's going to be a point where that is the norm. We're not there yet. It'll be the norm.
The movie. Oh my gosh, I see his face. Arnold Schwarzenegger did the first one.
Total Recall.
Yes, Total Recall. In Total Recall, everything was AI.
Yes,
people doing the welcome to whatever world, all of that stuff, all of it was AI.
Mm-hmm. And they were used to it because that became their normal. It became their normal. It was normalized. It's not normalized yet. We just got to the point where the pictures can fool us. I always talk about the Pope picture because that was the moment. That was the moment. That was when the tide turned with text to image. Before it looked crazy. It was like, oh, that's fake, ha ha ha, that's fake, ha ha ha. The Pope picture, in the white bubble coat, you could not tell. I mean, you
Right.
could tell now, but that was the turning point. So there's going to be another turning point where we're going to have this avatar thing, and it's going to be normal. We're not there yet. Just like I always bring up the automotive industry. It used to be all people in the factory making the cars. What is it now? The little bit amount of supervisory humans, the big machine with the arm puts the car together. That's where it's going to be. So right now, it sounds crazy. AI brand influencer, it's going to be the norm. Just give it time, because businesses are going to see this as cost effective. They control the process, which they don't now with the human influencer, and the public, the consumer, will be used to seeing an AI something talking, just like Total Recall. Thank you for bringing that up. I gotta watch that movie again. But that's what it's going to be. We're not there yet. It's not there. Because with this McDonald's story with the cashier and the money, and it was wrong, they got to work the kinks out. And McDonald's is going to be doing that because it's cost effective for the business, for the corporation. Corporations are always about maximizing profits and lowering costs, operational costs. Right now, labor costs are the biggest thing with businesses and corporations. Labor costs. That's why you see all of these, layoffs, and unfortunately, but that's what it is. They're not going to say, let's take less profit. Let's tell the CEO not to take those millions of dollars. They're not going to do that, even though that's what they should do. They're not going to do that. They're going to say, well, where can we cut the fat? And they've been doing that for hundreds of years. It's not new. So that's why this AI thing will take off in the future, not now. Another one, Minority Report. Remember that with Tom Cruise, and they were looking at the screens and tracking people. That's coming into play. The other TV show with Taraji P. Henson.
Oh,
I forgot the name of it.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
They were tracking
person of interest.
Yes. All these things Hollywood does it first. And we go, oh, fantasy world, and then give it 10, 15 years. Oh, that's reality. That's how, and it's going to be normalized. Just like we didn't think AI photography was going to be normalized, and it is almost. So
yeah, so the lady walking down the street, the Japan lady walking down the street from
Sora. Yes.
That was, I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be real interesting.
You're gonna fool the human eye, and the human eye gets you. It says, "Oh, different, same." That's just how pattern recognition happens, and all of those things. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing. I'm just saying that's just how it works.
Yeah,
that's just how it works. All right, so a few more. Let's get into Instagram. Instagram lets users live stream exclusively to their close friends list. Here it is again, the private part. And I think I might have talked about this a lot, that you're going to be able to bring your community into a private area because it's private. And then, let me show you, come over into my group list, my this, like that. So now Instagram is letting you live stream to that group. Instagram is also adding music to carousel posts with video. What this is that when you made a carousel post, and one of the I think it's up to 15 or 20 posts was a video, you couldn't have music, but now they fixed it so you can add music to still image carousels, and then you could add it to the video also. So that's one of the new options, something that people were looking for. And let's see, Meta is implementing new AI disclosure requirements. So this is another part of it where we get more AI-based advertising and different things. And the influencers, they're going to have rules that say this is AI, this is not. So that's going to be a part of it. Also, they've created a way to watermark AI-generated speech. They have a tool called Audio Seal, which will help tackle the growing use of voice cloning tools for scams and misinformation. So they're going to stamp the audio, the AI audio made from text to audio. So Meta has created a system that puts embedded code signals known as watermarks and AI-generated audio clips. Is going to help detect all AI-generated content online used for scamming and to misinformation and things like that. And let's see, one more from Threads. Threads has released their API. People are happy about that because now third-party tools can be created to work with social media management using the Threads app. So developers can publish posts, fetch their content, deploy reply management tools. So there's things that they can do, and they'll be able to have third-party tools connect to Threads through the API. And API is just some code that'll let one platform talk to another easily. So they have that. And that is your social media update and news for the week.
Yay. With YouTube, I was in there doing some work on YouTube, and I was uploading a video, and they asked, is any part of this video altered or generated with AI? So people are there asking the questions now.
Yeah, you self-regulate now, but there'll come a point, Meta's working on it, where they're just going to stamp it. They're not going to ask you. Amazon is working on that with their Kindle publishing. Another thing that's going to come is I swear they're doing self-regulation now, but they come to the point where technology is going to be like, this is AI. Stamp. And it's
I hope they get it right.
I do too.
Yeah. Well, I think I read this week that something about some real life photos were stamped AI with Meta tool, but that is going to be worked out. Because remember, everything is ones and zeros. Ooh, I just lost my life. It died on me. Oh well. Everything is ones and zeros. Everything's binary, so you can track that. Hello, scammers and people trying to steal money and this and that. It all comes down to ones and zeros.
Yes, thank you, TJ.
You're welcome.
All right, Dr. Tachi, what do we got in the world of media?
We have a few things. How is everybody, first of all?
Good.
That's wonderful. I love to hear that. So I kind of wanted to kind of piggyback on the tech thing and the social media thing. And I don't know if you talked about this, but when you talked about TikTok, did you talk about the fact that there are some social media influencers, particularly on TikTok, that are maligning sunscreen?
No, I didn't know about that. There's so many topics on TikTok. I can't keep up with the stuff that's going on. I'm like, oh my God.
I know. So I saw this and I thought it was interesting. And I thought, no, maybe she talked about it already. The fact that, TikTok and social media in general, and even YouTube, there are so many beauty influencers and health influencers. So you really have to.
But I love that though.
I love it too.
Get the information out.
I love it too, because also this gets information out to particular communities who may not get that information. However, we have to make sure that the information is correct. You have to do your due diligence to make sure that you are getting the correct information. And because there's so many influencers, people tend to believe these social media influencers. So the latest thing has been about how sunscreen, like the chemicals and things on sunscreen is dangerous. Now, I'm not going to say that sunscreen is 100% wonderful. And you've got two different types of sunscreens, right? You've got the chemical sunscreens that block with chemical, and then you also have the mineral sunscreen. So when you see like the zinc oxide, that's a mineral sunscreen. So that blocks as well. Now, especially with zinc oxide, it tends not to be as friendly looking on darker tones because it leaves a white cast.
This is a white cast, exactly.
Right. But so that's why you have some people, especially people with darker skin tones, that go after the chemical sunscreens because it doesn't leave that white cast. But the thing is that there are people saying that, oh, well, sunscreen is dangerous because of the chemicals and things in it. And so it comes to the debate of, is it more dangerous not to wear sunscreen than it is to wear?
So I would say that real quick. I would say to those people, water's a chemical.
Show you right.
And you ban in water? Now they may have a point, but there's a point where we're like, well, that's a chemical. And really, this comes from the black hair care world, because I was following that like years ago when they had, I forgot what website it was, and people were making their own products and saying, stay away from silicone, stay away from this, stay away from that, or this chemical sounding ingredient was dangerous to our hair, but it was needed because it was a surfactant or a sulfan, or it stripped the oils, or it got the dirt. So because it was a chemical, they thought it was bad, is my point, but it was necessary in the formulation of the product.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, anything in excess. I'm not one that really likes a lot of chemicals in anything.
Me either, but
I realize when they are necessary, though.
Yes.
Medicines have chemicals in them. They're not all natural compounds. There are many synthetic things that make them work, for some of them to work. So you just have to balance it. But to say something is all bad is kind of a dangerous statement. And that's why you have to be careful. So, yeah, I was wondering if you had heard about that, because that's
see, now I'm going to have to go and see.
Yeah, you know what? I'll send you the NPR article.
Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah,
NPR. Yeah, I will see it. I go to NPR all the time.
Yeah, but I'll put it here in the
put it in chat.
The chat just in case you're interested in seeing that.
I am.
Yeah. So let's go on. Let's talk a little bit about Donald Sutherland. He was an amazing actor, and unfortunately, he passed away. Was it yesterday or just the day before yesterday?
Yeah, his son announced it.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, his son, who was also an actor, announced it. He was 88 years old, and to me, that still doesn't seem old. You know, it still doesn't seem very old.
Just a real quick aside. I saw today on trending on social media something about they're mad at Morgan Freeman, and they were saying, well, Morgan Freeman is 87. Something about Morgan Freeman at 87 that I saw trending. I didn't get a chance to look at.
I didn't get a chance to look at that either.
Something about, because you're saying like Donald Sutherland at 88. They were saying something about Morgan Freeman, and it was trend. The trend was he's 87, and I was like, well, what is that? And then I clicked on it, and it said something about Morgan Freeman. But I have to look at it. But why are they, you're 87, 88 in the 80s, you're going to behave a certain way or things will happen is my point. But when you said 88, that triggered me today.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, they go crazy over all kinds of stuff.
Sorry. Tropics. I'm like, what is this flying around?
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. Because when you said that, I was like, what is with this?
No worries. So he's been in a lot of film. One of my favorite films with Donald Sutherland. Have you ever seen A Dry White Season?
No.
It's an older film that was made in the 80s, and it's about apartheid South Africa. So he plays one of the main characters, and it's about an apartheid freedom fighter gets killed by the apartheid South African government, and he's like involved in trying to find out the truth. And it's riveting, and it's I didn't see it obviously when it came out, but I saw it in class like several years later. So I was like, this was an amazing film. So that was one of my favorite films with Donald Sutherland in it, A Dry White Season. And if you get a chance, check it out. Yeah, absolutely. So, rest well. He was in so many things, including the Hunger Games, right?
Right.
So we talk about a working actor, he was a working actor. So rest well to Donald Sutherland, and condolences to the family.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. I talked about this on Pop Gumbo this week. I love animation. I love, things that are animated, anything with a good story. So anime, any of that. I also was a huge fan of the show Everybody Hates Chris. Did any of you watch that? Chris Rock?
I did.
Okay. It was just the funny little anecdotes. Like my thing was that the the sister Tanya, how she loved Billy Ocean, and to me, it's like, but you're a child. Why do you? But she
I
used to
love
be.
the father. I love the father. I think it was the father unplugging every appliance. Or that's 5 cents worth of electricity. That's 35. And it was something about he missed school or couldn't wake up because the father unplugged the alarm clock while he was sleeping. That's 37 cents worth of electricity.
Exactly. He was always trying to save something. And then Rochelle, played by Tashina Arnold, was always like, I don't need this job. My man has 3 jobs.
Yeah, my husband. Yeah, I don't need this.
Exactly.
It was very funny, very funny.
Hilarious. I mean, and I think we can all point to our favorite episodes and things of that. I
Yeah.
think one of my favorite episodes was what is it? The Easter church hat, where Rochelle had to make hers the biggest. It was hilarious. It was like a contest to see who had the biggest church hat.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go back and find that one.
Yeah.
Funny show.
If you like that,
I do.
You like animation, you're going to be happy to know that Everybody Hates Chris is now going to be an animated series.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So the original ran on the CW for 4 seasons from 2005 to 2009. No, or was it 2004? So 2004 to 2009.
I think so.
Yeah, it was either 4 or 5 seasons. So, but it was on the CW, and they are deciding to revive that. Now, the thing I like is it's not like a revival of the same series with, different characters per se, but it's an animated series. So we do have 3 people returning. So Chris Rock is going to be the narrator as he was before. Terry Crews will come back to voice the father, and Tashina Arnold will come back to voice the mother.
Good.
Yes. So we have those 3 from the original, but we have some newcomers as well. That I don't know if I have their names here, but we have some newcomers that are going to voice the brother, the sister. And remember, Chris had one friend at that school that he was bused to. So that one friend who was like his best friend, that role is going to be reprised as well. So we do have some newcomers coming as well. So, but if you are into Everybody Hates Chris, let me tell you what it's called. Everybody Still Hates Chris.
That sounds great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. It's supposed to.
I hope it's not a what they did to Good Times.
Refresh my memory.
Good Times that turned into a Netflix comedy anime. It was Good Times was animated and put on Netflix this year, but they changed everything about it, and I didn't watch it. I just saw like the trailer, and I was like, "That's not for me."
I don't even remember this. What was it
was
called? Good Times?
No, it was called Good Times, but it wasn't the characters. It was. I can't even tell you how much of a mess it. And see, you're not knowing about it. That means it didn't even do it.
Because I'm not saying to be the great and powerful Oz, but mostly if something drops, I know about it. I didn't hear.
Right? No, they did the good. It was on Netflix. They released it on Netflix, but it was reimagined for today.
Oh, reimagining.
And they made the Michael character was a babe turning into a baby. Like the character from the Looney Tunes, the baby that was really the mobster that dressed up like a baby and did mobster-like things, but was really a man. They put that character. It's a mess. I just thought about that when you talked about this story. So you not knowing about it means it didn't do nothing. It did.
The interesting thing about that, though, is that if you look at Chicago now, Cabrini Green is gone.
Yeah, that's what the things they brought up.
Wow.
Well, go while you're doing that, I'm gonna bring it up so you can. I don't know.
I have it.
To it.
Oh, bring it up, please.
I have the what is it? The trailer.
You have it? Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
You play.
I was like,
It was April, I think this came out.
April of this year?
Yes.
Oh, God of heavens.
Yeah, it's looking a little.
All right, hold on. Wait, before you do that, Fran, let me bring up the article from the Hollywood. I think this is the Hollywood Reporter. So that's it. They did the reboot. That drug dealing baby, yes. So Michael's a drug dealing baby.
Okay, yeah, that just took a that went way away from.
Yeah.
Well, they
So-
kept the same drapes. I'll give them that.
And so what happened was, I think Norman Lear approved the idea of it, but then he passed away, and then I guess they decided to do whatever they wanted to do with it. I don't think they stuck with the original plans that they gave to him as the originator. And they made it this, and they said it was reimagined for today.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so if you see the trailer, you're gonna touch his face. It got. I think it fell flat.
Let's watch the trailer.
It had Norman. This was in the works for a while. It had Norman Lear approved because this is his IP. And I'm pretty sure they like, it's going to be the family. And but when he passed away, I guess they decided to
do their own thing,
run amok with.
I know what would be great: a drug dealing baby.
Okay, let me know how this looks to you guys.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, let me make it big and push and play.
I have important news.
Let me guess. The state called and they want to cut you a disability check for your face. Hold up. You can get paid for that?
This is from a fool who stares at his orange juice every morning.
It says concentrate on the box. Who the dummy now? Shit. Me for not wearing a condom. Shadows fall over my heart. It all started with my grandfather, James Evans. My job as the man of this house is to take care of this family no matter what.
I just want to let you know I'm going to take good care of Gray.
Who is this I'm about to kill?
Juan, my boyfriend. Daddy, let him go.
Baby, she come with me.
Junior's repeating the 10th grade for the 3rd time. Is there anything you can suggest to help him get to the drive-thru?
Can you do OnlyFans?
Take off your shoes. Let me see what kind of feet you working with.
I'll take you to the dark side.
Dear Black Heavenly Father, College Redeemer, if you could just help us.
Son, it's for you. New phone. Who this?
Black, everything. At least they ain't got that drug dealing baby under my roof no more.
Man, my mouth ready for some milk right now.
Dalvin, why are you so breast obsessed? It's childish, man.
Bruh, I'm a baby. I can't get no more childish than that.
In a nocturnal state of mind.
Your neighborhood is a real shithole. It's the system. They put the guns and drugs on the streets.
No, you don't.
This is getting dangerous. I won't just sit back and let you put yourself in harm's way. I love you too very much. Everything black.
The revolution will not be televised.
Come on, Rosa Parks. Can't you just enjoy this?
Why is Elon Musk there?
Black sky, black light, black everything black.
We're just as good as the Evans of old.
Isn't that just dynamite?
But the truth is, we're the Evans of new.
Look like money.
Everything black. What about the struggle?
We're black. It'll be here tomorrow.
Everything black. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything black.
Wait a minute. The baby, little baby, and baby baby?
Too many babies around this crib.
Dr. Tachi's face.
Who approved this?
It was approved by, because Norman Lear's name is on it. Seth, I didn't know Seth MacFarlane was in this. It was approved way back when that's what I'm saying. They must have came to him with, it's going to be a feel-good story about a black, based on his original story.
Doesn't feel good.
So once they got approval, I guess they just went ham with it. I remember that the one of the actresses, I followed her on Twitter, Yvette something Brown. Is that her name?
Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yes. They went at her. Why did you do the and she was saying like because they do the voices. They don't see the I forgot what her excuse was.
But you read the script.
Yes,
right.
I forgot what her excuse was. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay, and so So from executive producer Stephen Curry, like in Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. That's what I saw. That.
Yes, that too. Yes,
Steph Curry.
Yeah, and then Seth MacFarlane and Norman Lear. I'm like, what the? Wait a minute.
Well, they had to get approval from Norman Lear because this is IP. But that's what I'm saying. Whenever they gave the idea, they didn't present this.
This was not fully flushed out. He would never have approved.
He would have never. He would have never.
I'm having problems thinking Steph Curry even signed on to this. Seth MacFarlane, I can see him.
Yeah, this is all him. I can see him. Yeah, this is his stuff all over. Yeah, Yvette Nicole Brown. And they gave her what on Twitter, and she had forgot what her defense was.
You don't have a defense as an actor. I do see the fact that you need to take roles in order to survive, but is any role on the table at the expense of dignity?
They also talked to the original actors that play Michael and Thelma.
Now you know good and well.
I can't remember what they said, but what they said made me think that it was a cloak and dagger thing. Like they came to everybody with, oh, it's going to be good and wholesome, and it's going to be the story of a Black family, blah, 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 blah. But when they did it, when they went back to the lab and did the, the animation date and the storyline, they did something. They did a flim flam.
Bait and switch.
There was already too much shucking and jiving for the father in the original.
Yeah.
That's why he ended up leaving.
Your mouth, when you were like, what in is this? And that's the first reaction. When I saw the trailer, I was like, I don't want any parts of that.
I never saw this at all. It did not come across and usually, things that are coming out.
Okay, so I found some of her tweets. She said the message of the show is clear when you take the ride. She was thanking people for watching the 10 episodes instead of the trailer.
No, because the trailer is where you get the inkling as to whether or not I want to watch the episode. So that is on the fault of whoever cut that trailer. If there's more redeeming quality to it,
how?
That's
from the source material. How is the source material better than I want to know? I don't want to watch. I didn't want to watch it at all. I was like, no,
I didn't either. Well, it's from the source material, but what they do is take the most engaging parts of the source material and then they cut that together. So if there are 10 episodes and this is a what is it? 1 hour series?
Probably, I'm not sure.
There's a lot of material to work with. They just took the most provocative parts and cut it into a trailer. So now you're saying I was supposed to waste my 10 hours to sit there and watch to discover the redeeming parts.
I judge from the trailer.
That's what trailers are for. That's how you determine whether or not this
was April. So I remember. So the actress, everybody that was like giving her positive reviews, she was thanking. So somebody says, I'm glad I didn't go off of the preview. You and the character are killing me. And she was like, thank you for watching the all 10 episodes. I'm like, no, lady.
I'm not even getting past it. No. I'm not going to the first episode. I was like, what is this? And we are trying to portray a different light to the as a culture. Come on.
Okay, so here's one from her. This was March 30th. She said, Our Good Times is an adult show set in an exaggerated animated landscape for the purpose of highlighting real issues plaguing our communities. There are lessons, laughs, and shocking imagery all on purpose. We're cooking. If it's not your kind of meal, don't eat. And I was like, this was so out of character for her because everything else that I followed her on Twitter was totally different from this tape.
Defensiveness. She's in something now. She has to defend the choice that she's made under scrutiny. So of course she's going to get defensive. But the whole thing is maybe what she's saying is true, but you did not even package it in a way that would allow people to get to that. There was one redeeming quality in there. I guess that was her, what the mother was saying, they're just dropping guns and drugs in our community. So from that, you want me to think it's a positive depiction?
Right. One line out of 100. So then she goes and says, people get to choose what they want to watch. Ain't that grand? Coming from me over a trailer is foolish. Watch the show, then let's chat, or don't and leave me out of it. This was very uncharacteristic for her. Like, I've been following her for a long time. All her political stuff, and I was like, wow, you just showed me another side of you that was already there. And I guess you were just hiding, huh? Because you say I made a mistake.
Okay, I want to know what Steph Curry got to say. Because how are you signed up with this?
Why are you signed up with this?
He put money into this. If I'm understanding my media, when you were an executive producer, you wrote a check.
You're putting the money behind it, yes.
And he put money behind this?
But my thing is, like, you either A, put money behind something that you did not fully research, or B, are okay with it and put money behind it. One of two things.
Right. And I'm like, you don't want this on your resume, I don't think.
So she goes on. She's like, wait till you see the dangers of police state episode. That's not the title, but the message. So she's talking about one of the episodes about the police. Lady, we live the life. We already know it. Why do I need an animated show like this to tell me about the police state? We're living it.
Here's the thing. The way you do commentary right is the way the Boondocks did it. Aaron Magruder and the way he presented the information about the Boondocks. And even back then, people had, I don't know if you ever watched the Boondocks. I used to watch it all the time.
Me too.
But,
they had problems with the
Martin Luther King episode. Yeah. People complained about that. But the thing is, the way that he was doing it, he was making social commentary about the conditions that existed at the time. And, you know, I even started before that, because before it was an animated series, I used to read the comic strip in the Sunday newspaper.
Yeah.
So from that's when it became the series. But it's it was hilarious. It's hilarious. It was hilarious, but it really took something. It was really something
they
different.
Pushed the limits, but they didn't really go over. They they went to the line. Like,
and when they pushed limits, it was to make a point.
Right.
This seems pointless. And if it's because your trailer is ill-advised, then that's the trailer's fault. Don't blame viewers for not taking the time to watch all 10 episodes. That is 10 hours I will never get back. Unless you prove to me that this is worth my time, I'm not watching it.
I was excited and I saw the trailer. I was like, no way am I watching that. That is just horrible. And
okay, we got Steph Curry finally responds.
Whoa!
Shall we play it?
Yes.
Do tell.
Okay, stand by. Let me pull it up, because I was like,
get into it.
Okay, I gotta ads. Okay, I'm skipping this ad. Okay, because that was like, what the? Okay, hold on. Now I'm going to this button and pushing this button and going here. Okay, share. Y'all can see this?
We can.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Today is the debut of your new animation, Good Times. Just want to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's obviously the IP of Good Times. Everybody knows what that is, and there's such a it's on a pedestal of shows that represent Black culture, Black social commentary, Black family. This is a different take on that, so the name will ring, but an animated series that's kind of driven towards the adult audience. It's a little different, so you take that for what it is. And
you're going to be watching it with the family?
I will not be with my kids, no.
Everything black, black bird, black moon, black sky, black light, black, everything black. Wait a minute. The baby, little baby, and baby baby? Too many babies around this crib.
Did you see?
That's what he had to say.
Do you see when they asked the question and the hesitation? It's because, again, I think these people were sold the bill of goods. He put the money in and let it rock because he's doing other things. He's got other productions going on and put the money in. It was like, okay, I put faith in it. and then saw the end result and was like, oh my God, I already put my money into it. I gotta let it ride. Because
No, you don't.
see his hesitation, and he didn't have much to say. This is not somebody that had faith in that product.
Okay, he looked like, dang, what is?
That's what I'm saying.
You
He
already
probably
know the
somebody
IP.
advised him to put his money into this thing, because that's what executive produce means. He put the money in. That's all that means.
Because you have so much money, you need some place to put it. Does not mean you should put it into any rubbish project.
Agree.
Somebody came to him with an investment opportunity.
It sounded good.
And I believe he wrote the check thinking it was going to be.
It sounded good.
Somebody with an Adidas tracksuit came on and came to him.
On paper, this
got
thing
this fly
sounds
opportunity.
wonderful. Just like when you said that everybody hates Chris, and that's when it clicked in my mind. I was like, wait a minute, they did the Good Times. It sounded wonderful on paper. The actual execution and the people that was involved, Steph Curry, he learned a valuable lesson from this.
You learn that until you understand media and start to listen. You try to be like LeBron James. You try to be like all these people, and you see the awards they're winning.
Yes.
But you need to understand how media works.
Yes.
And here's the thing. You, especially as a ball player or investor, in this case of color, you have to be doubly sensitive to the way imagery is shown when it comes to people of color.
Yeah.
Because you are responsible if you're funding this nonsense.
How about his half of the money, and I'll give you the rest when I see the end product?
Exactly.
Well, see, but I think it was like an investment portfolio, maybe, where he had his financier, somebody, they put the money in.
He's done, because I think Mario talked about pitching him something media wise that Mario Armstrong was saying that Steph was getting into, like, producing show media and stuff like that. But see, this shows me that you gotta go the whole mile. You gotta understand it's not just about money. You gotta say, wait a minute, it sounds good on paper, but I want to see this thing at the end. And you could, when he there was a big hesitation between the question and the answer, and a big breath, like, oh my God, what do I say about this thing that I hate, that I put my money into? That's what I get from him.
You need to be honest about it.
Yes.
That this was not something that
him and the actress that I read her tweets, instead of doubling down, say I made a mistake.
Doubling down on rubbish. Just be honest.
And because they don't want to say, you know what, this was a bad idea, because then the show tanks, right? They don't want to do that.
So they had some other people, Jay Farrow,
yeah.
Farrow, the lady, the young lady from what's the show with the family? Tracy
Morgan?
No, the actress. Diana Ross's daughter,
Tracy Ellis
Ross.
The show they had that was so great.
Girlfriend, Living Single.
You're talking about
Blackish. That's her voice is in there too.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
No, the one that played the daughter. She's grown up now.
Yara Shahidi.
No, the youngest girl. She's now.
I know who you're talking about. She's like
Marseille,
mega mogul.
Marseille
Thompson. Her name
the
is
girl
Marseille.
with the glasses.
Yeah. The little, she was little, the little twin.
Diane,
but now she's making like money.
Yeah, I think her voice is in there. I think.
Hey, Donna from Green Earth Travel. Good to see you here.
Donna. Hey, Donna. I'm just like,
did nobody read the script? Did anybody look at anything?
They went off the IP, because you hear what Steph said. They went off. He said IP. He said the word IP.
He said, of course, the IP is up on a pedestal, and now you've chopped it off that pedestal.
But there was a disconnect between his brand and his image and this animated series. I'm like, there's a disconnect.
Martin. That's her name, Marseille Martin.
Marseille Martin.
JB Thompson. Cree Summer. She's the actress from Different World.
Cree
Right.
Summer is in this.
I was
Yup,
like,
she's
who
a
are these
big-
people? Do you
she's
all
a
need to
big
check
voice
that bad?
actor.
Do we all need to check that bad?
Cree Summer has done Rugrats, and she's done all like Nickelodeon.
She's a voice
like,
actress primarily now.
Yeah,
and
Right,
of course
but
they've done
this ain't Rugrats.
no, it's not. But I'm very surprised. Like other people, I'm like, whatever. But if Cree Summer is attached to it, I'm very surprised because
Tisha
she is
Campbell.
very pro.
Tisha Campbell did
rights.
4 episodes. Bernadette Stanis. That's the
Yeah, she played
that's
Velma.
the Thelma. She did 2 episodes. The Brat did 2 episodes. Jimmy J.J. Walker did 2 episodes.
Why?
I will say that
One
maybe
side-
there are some redeeming qualities to this that we don't see, but you have cut off probably 70% of the population that may have watched it because you have a
No.
badly cut trailer.
But
you have compiled all of that nonsense
okay
in one trailer.
Can I say 'cause this reminds me of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they always go, "Oh, I was badly produced. I was badly something," and I'm like, "But did you say
was
the
the editing.
word?" They
Yeah.
showed me in a bad light, but did you say the words that I saw on that episode that the producers cut me like that? Did they? Did you say what you said? So the trailer for Netflix, I don't care how they cut it. Those things were said.
They were said. They were said.
The baby scene with the guns and
I don't like that at all. I am
So-
very anti that.
so that was that badly cut or was that said?
Oh, that was done and that was said. But
Okay.
I'm just listen. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
give a little bit of grace. Maybe there are some redeeming qualities to it, but because
would
you
have to
have these
watch it.
other things in there,
Mhm.
and then you chose to put all those bad, in my opinion, moments in one trailer, that already 86s me from watching. And
So
don't
you-
sit here on the moral high ground and say, "Oh, well, you need to watch the whole thing through for context."
So
Don't
for
talk to me about that. I'm a researcher. I understand
know.
about reading and looking for context.
Right. So I'm
Down.
gonna use this analogy. I go to a 5-star restaurant, I get lobster and filet mignon, and everything looks good, but they threw a dead fish head on there with the plate. Do I want to eat that?
No.
That's how I feel about this. I knew it instantly. It was something I did not want to watch, and I didn't watch it. I just remember it because you said the
I didn't
everybody
even know it
hates her.
existed. And,
And-
probably
and
I was
I
better off
You
not
didn't know
knowing.
about this thing.
And then when they asked Steph, "So you gonna watch it with the family?"
You don't know. I'm not
No.
watching with my kids.
Sorry. He was like, no,
Because he's against gun violence because
Yes.
the coach of the Warriors,
Yes.
his dad died in a gun thing. So what is this is the total disconnect from who you are.
because he wrote a check.
And that's
As
what
the-
happens
as
when you
executive
don't investigate before you
producer.
put money in things.
It sounded good. It's good times. Who would think you would mess up? It's good times. Who would
But
think you
they
would
didn't-
mess
They
up?
did.
They
I
messed
don't
it up.
think
They did a
he-
great job of it.
I don't
He
think he
wrote a
knew.
check. He wrote a
I
check.
don't think he knew what they were going to do with it
No,
when he wrote
he
the
didn't.
check.
And okay, I will say this in fairness. No, from a trailer, you cannot judge the entire thing. But as somebody who has cut together trailers, as somebody who is a filmmaker, you understand that the trailer takes the most provocative or the best parts of whatever the project is and puts those together. And
Yes.
as you said, that those parts exist. It's not like they made them up. They exist. But
Yes.
what
So-
needed to be done is that in the larger context of what your message is, those need to be there. Drop the baby scene. That's
So
ridiculous.
for analogy, the latest Bad Boy movie, I saw the trailer for that. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I did too.
So that makes me want to see it. I saw
Exactly.
this and I was like, ain't no way. I don't want that.
Exactly. And I think the thing that makes it so bad, we already can attest to the fact that there is some violence, obviously, and shoot 'em up in Bad Boys 2 as well. But
that's
that
what they're
is
selling.
That's what they're selling. That is a fantasy type of thing. This is a well-recognized show IP,
beloved by some people,
that actually had messages each week. Although it took them 10 million years to get out of the ghetto, as they love to say, it took them all
but
that
they made
time.
it out at the end.
They made it out at the end. I'm like, again, when Thelma got married to the football player, and then you felt like, oh, come on, you just don't want them to get out. Come on now. This was their one chance. So but they made it out at the end. But the thing is, there were always lessons in there about, whether or not
redemption arc.
Yes.
And I'm honestly, when I see I go by the trailer and I'm like, do I want to investigate further? Great trailer. Let me investigate. Horrible trailer. I'm not, you lost me. So, and like I said, it was backlash about the trailer, and then this actress, I don't know if any other actresses or actors, voice actors, said anything online, but I remember she was the most vocal one about, and she got really angry and nasty about it. I was like, it's very out of character for her from all her other tweets, and I was just like, that's a signal to me. Like,
now see,
own your mistake.
She can't claim I wrote a check and didn't really understand what they were going to do.
She can't, right?
You read the word and said the words.
Yeah.
Steph can say, I wrote a check, didn't understand what they were going to do, because he can write that check. But
yeah, and the people that watched it and loved it, hey, I'm happy for you.
I'm like, what is this? I wouldn't watch this.
That's why
if it wasn't called Good Times.
There's no need to watch that for context. There's certain things that you're like, okay, I need the full context of it in order to make an informed opinion. There's certain things but for this, I don't feel like I need to watch the entire thing.
They did a good job with this trailer.
Opinion. They did
a good job with this trailer, and it let me know what, and I walked the other way.
Not in 2024.
This does not represent the culture well at all.
Well, I'd love to see, to be honest, I would love to see like the synopsis of the episodes to see what exactly each episode is about. Not going to sit there and watch it. I can't promise that.
That should be online somewhere. Like,
probably
the episode, maybe in does Wikipedia do that for some
It's
shows?
in Netflix.
Netflix, if you go into Netflix, it's probably
I don't even want to pull it. I don't even want Netflix to
throw
that
if
in
you
my
pull that up,
algorithm.
then the algorithm is going to say, since you like this, please
and then it
watch.
starts throwing you crap like that.
Please
I'm
watch
like,
Getting in the
what
Ghetto.
is
No, we're
I
not doing
curate my feed. Okay, Netflix is.
This is bad. This was real bad. It put the culture in a very bad light, and I'm like, what is this, and why is this being shown?
I've never seen such a bad trailer, if that makes any sense. I've seen where there have been projects where I'm like, that's not a show I want to watch, but the trailer has some, I guess, redeeming qualities to it. And then you either decide, it's for me or it's not for me. But I've never seen a show of this type with a trailer that is so damning that it's like, I'm not watching that. And you can't blame other people for saying that either. Even with you could throw everything else away, but the baby scene, come on.
I can't believe you didn't know about it. I would have already mentioned it.
I'm saying, like, this looks like Seth MacFarlane's
handiwork. It's his MO. It's his
and good for him. But Seth MacFarlane doesn't come from a community that needs to be sensitive and aware of these things. So he can make any rubbish and put his name on any rubbish, and it's fine. We cannot do that. We have to be, because clearly there is no filter here. We have to be the ones with the filter. And that includes the actors that are involved. That includes anyone that's putting money behind it. That includes the showrunner. What was her name? I saw it there, but the showrunner.
Yeah, it was there. I don't even remember. I tried to erase all of that from my memory, but I was just like,
It stood out because her name was big, and as if she was proud.
She probably was. Oh, we're gonna push the envelope with the Good Times IP. Everyone's gonna love it.
No.
Gen Z's gonna love it.
Gen Z is probably appalled.
Gen Z is like, what is
appalled?
Yeah, they don't know what Good Times is. They don't know what
They
that
don't
is.
know Good Times.
They don't
And
watch
they
that.
don't. They barely watch Netflix.
They don't know what that is.
That's true. They probably don't watch Netflix.
So you put this
they didn't know
on.
what Good Times. Listen, just real quick, Justin Timberlake had some issues this week with the law, and the officer that arrested him did not know who he was because he was Gen Z. He was like, "Who? Justin Timberlake? Who?
Who are
So
you?"
I'm just saying that's where we are. The things that you're familiar with as Gen X or whatever, they don't.
Millennials.
They got no who. They have no affiliation for that. So I bring that up to say that's because it's like, okay, they have their own thing, their own world. That's why I talk about Snapchat, and I showed that video last week of the Snapchat advertisement. That's their mindset. They're not thinking about Good Times and Justin Timberlake and anybody that's over 50.
And this particular video does not fit with the dancing orange, angry oranges stuff. That is totally opposite of them.
Who was the audience for Good Times based on the IP? It would be
boomers,
right?
And we're not even watching that based on whatever that was.
But they want Gen Z eyeballs. Gen Z's like, we don't want anything to do with you guys. It's like
it is so the antithesis of what Gen Z wants. Because let's think about this. They look like they still live in Cabrini Green. Okay, they have those same blasted curtains. Okay, because I know that building.
Did you see the shot? The opening shot was
the opening shot is Cabrini Green, which is gone now, by the way. But the opening shot is there. That went away. There was only one building left of Cabrini Green.
Right. And
I went to Chicago like in 2002. I was there and there was one left. So I don't even know if that one is still there. So I think that Gen Z is not interested in, first of all, linear television as much as they like to think. Right. This is not something that's going to draw them. The story is not endearing because what's Gen Z trying to do? They're trying to live, and they're trying to live big. You know, they if you look at some of the things that they're into experiences, but they're also trying to live bigger. They're not going to be satisfied. Projects, that's not everybody. And not everybody, but projects, that you think they actually want to sit there and watch a show about the life in the project and drug. This is what you think. A drug dealing baby. You think this is what they want.
I always say this about Gen Z, and this is to the boomers and older. Gen Z wants you to die. They've said that. They want you to die. You can Google it. I'm not making this up. They want you out of the way because you're sucking up all the money, resources, everything that they can't get ahead because you're still living. That's how they think.
Well, you know what it is? It's that some boomers and silent generation will refuse to give up power.
Yes, that's
why we have Methuselahs in office now.
Look at the Senate. There you
look
go.
At the Senate. Look at you know, the American government in general. They don't value young people's voices, and they do everything in their power to squash them when they do get in and act like they have the experience. Oh, it's going well. Look at what's happening. It's going well with you all at the helm, with you all in charge. And it's because they don't want to acquiesce and give chances to younger people. So that being said, you know, they want them to die. That's terrible. But I think it's because, you know, people would not be so quick for you to go away if you turned over the torch when you were supposed to. You're not supposed to be someplace forever. Supreme Court, who said that?
I mean, I did say the die part, but that's how they feel. Let me show you this real quick.
This is interesting.
This is real quick. Boomer robbing Gen Z future. Gen Z versus the symbol tsunami. They want them to get out of their homes. They want them to go into nursing homes. They don't understand. They blame their problems on Gen Z. Here you go. When will all the boomers pass away? I didn't make this up.
Wow.
I did not make this up. So that's what I'm saying. Google it. Google it. That's how they feel about you. So
I think we're all in this one together that we do not want to watch whatever the remake of Good Times.
No.
I was like, I didn't
Come
know what
on,
to say. I
Steph.
just,
Come on, Steph. Steph was mad.
But he only has himself to blame.
yes,
Sorry.
he has. Yes, he can't blame anybody else. Don't
Nobody else
blindly
to
write a
blame but
check.
him.
You wrote the check without looking at what you was putting it in.
What did Oprah say?
Exactly.
She signs all her checks. She said that before. I don't know if she still does it, but she said that in the beginning. She signs all her checks.
Because then
Right,
you have
and I bet
control
you
of
she
where the money
knows.
is going.
Yeah, she knows where it's going.
She knows where the money's going.
You can't just be, all right, we'll send them such. No, do your research. If you are going to open your wallet, do your research.
How many stories of celebrities that have trusted their accountants or whoever and then they've stolen all their money? Too many to name. So
exactly.
So
his money got stolen in this case. I'll say that.
His reputation took a hit.
And did you see he didn't know what this, it was short, didn't know what to say. He's like, I'm not watching this with my kids. Next, move on. Next question.
I think the person who asked him the question caught him off guard.
Yes.
With the question. Because he was like, dang it, somebody came.
Let this be a lesson to you, Stephen Curry. Don't get involved in lanes that are not yours without research. You are not a media person. This is not your ministry. That is not to say you cannot invest in these things. But if you're going to do, that's like me investing in real estate. I'm not a real estate person.
That's like me investing in golf.
Exactly.
Don't give a.
But if you're going to do that, you ought to sit there and get yourself together and research so that you can make sure you understand it. So this is not to say don't ever invest or don't ever.
I would have to play the game and learn. Yeah, I would go if I wanted to. I would say, okay, let me learn the game. Let me go play. Let me talk. Let me read. Let me investigate, and then I invest. But he wrote a check. That's what happened here. He wrote a check and. Hopefully, you learn.
When you mentioned TJ, and I was like, "What is this? Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, I can't believe. But this
media.
was April. This was March, April.
Yeah, so there really was nothing else that you could put on. I'm just sitting there and thinking about how we have a whole blasted network full of amazing content that uplifts, that entertains, and this is the best you could do. Netflix. See, that's why there will always be an us and them. There will always be an us and them.
Netflix should have been ashamed as well. Come on, y'all.
Netflix, it's a corporation. They're not in it for the betterment of society. They're in it for this.
For the money, absolutely. And they're beholden to shareholders.
Yes, they have to make revenue. And this sounds like on paper, this was good. Ooh, Good Times.
Because Norman Lear's name was on it.
But he died. He passed
These
away.
executives are so clueless and pointless. I'm like, how did you survive being clueless, this clueless to this point? How? I have no tolerance for stupidity. I don't.
I don't either.
Dummies annoy me. Dummies annoy me to high heaven. I have no tolerance for it. So the fact that you are so money hungry that it's made you this daft that you thought this was okay, how very dare you? Oh.
See, I know Netflix doesn't care because the latest thing is the Bridgerton last season that went and
so let's talk about that. Let's go into this a little bit.
We got time? We got time?
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually have a story for that. I don't know if you know, but the second set of 4 of Bridgerton was dropped.
Yeah.
And I started watching it. You know, I love this kind of stuff. And the ratings keep Bridgerton on Netflix at number 1.
Yes.
But also, Jennifer Lopez's movie Atlas and Dune Part 2 have had solid opening weeks as well.
Really?
Yes, I was thinking of Jennifer Lopez, because she's trying to hold on to relevant. And I'm not saying she's not relevant. That's not what I'm saying. But she's trying to hold on to this youth relevance that she no longer has.
They want Gen Z eyeballs.
Yeah, but nobody in Gen Z really, they don't know you're Jenny from
Gen
the
Z
block.
doesn't know, they don't know.
They don't know you were a fly girl.
They don't know that.
On a living
They
color?
weren't born.
They weren't born. They don't care.
They don't
And so
care.
the thing is, you have a whole, I don't know why you're trying to draw them in, because you have a whole battalion of people that would go and see you. But the whole thing is, you have to be real. Nobody's coming to see you in a Coliseum. You're not Beyonce. You're not Taylor Swift. I'm not trying to be funny.
No,
but you're
it's
not.
real. It's
That's like
reality.
me renting. Well, I'm not J-Lo, but I'm like, that's like me renting out a big hall thinking that people are going to come watch Mediascope, and say, oh yeah, they're coming, and they may not. I have my community, but if I did something, they're not coming now. Not now. They will eventually, but not now.
TLC had a whole song, "Stick to the Rivers and the Lakes That You Used to."
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. If she did a smaller venue for that, no, but she wanted
But
like,
why?
I don't know where she
Why
was.
would she
setting
do
it.
that?
But she wanted like
Her
that
mindset, like you said, Beyonce. Her mindset is that she can do Renaissance.
You are not
numbers.
Beyonce.
She can do Renaissance numbers. Yes, she can. In her mind, she can.
You are not
do
Beyonce.
that. Okay, so Bridgerton, let's get into
Yeah.
it.
So this is season 3 of Bridgerton, and they have been managing to hold on to most of their premiere week audience with
Okay.
more than 2 billion minutes of viewing.
Okay.
Jennifer Lopez's Atlas and Dune Part 2, those are both sci-fi films. They had pretty strong showings during the weeks of May 20 through 26th. And also Max's Hacks and Hulu's Under the Bridge also had high ratings as well. So
Okay.
again, Bridgerton had 2.19 billion minutes of viewing for this week, and it's down just 21% from the 2.76 billion for the previous 7 days. But that's kind of to be expected, right? Because basically most people try to watch it that opening weekend.
Right.
And at a point, you get to saturation where everybody who's going to watch it has seen
Has
it.
watched it, right?
Right. So that's to be expected. You're going to get some drop off. So nobody
Yeah.
expects the same numbers, open that you have that opening weekend.
Right.
That's that's not thing. So Bridgerton, as you know, comes from Shondaland. And by the way, Shondaland has another project out on Netflix, the Barbie, Black
The Black Barbie.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I haven't watched it. I'm going to watch it today. Today is Friday, a perfect day for me to
I'm going to watch it.
read. How about that? So
I'm gonna
I'm
watch
going
it.
to finish watching Bridgerton, and I'm going to watch Black Barbie. I've heard good things.
Can I ask you what episode you're on part 2 of Bridgerton? What episode number? You
Just
don't
the second
remember?
episode. Just the second episode, which is episode
5,
6.
6. Okay. We'll talk after you finish.
Okay. So I finished episode 5. Got busy yesterday and couldn't keep going.
Yeah,
Good
so,
for me because I would have sat and binged the whole thing.
Yeah, the last episode. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk after, definitely. So, yeah, that's interesting. They've got, let me tell you overall, Nielsen streaming ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Bridgerton is number 1. Grey's Anatomy on Hulu and Netflix is number 2.
Really?
Bluey, yeah, Grey's Anatomy, right?
Grey's Anatomy.
Listen, I don't make
Okay.
these up.
I'm not getting okay. All right.
Bluey from Disney Plus is number 3. Young Sheldon from Max, Netflix, Paramount is number 4. And I think we kind of guess why, because Young Sheldon is ending.
Yes,
So
the show ended.
the show ended, right? So Atlas is number 5. They were at 795 million views. Bob's Burgers, which I love, number 6, 742 million. Family Guy, number 7, 724 million. Evil on Netflix and Paramount is 8 at 719 million. Dune Part 2, 9 at 711 million. And rounding out at number 10, NCIS from Netflix / Paramount at 695 million. So you see the big, well, it's not a huge thing, but Bridgerton is at it double what number 2 is. So
Okay.
219 billion minutes viewed.
Now, let me ask you real quick. Do you think after the Beverly Hills Cop thing drops, will that overtake Bridgerton, or we won't know? Or
I don't know. Well, this is a question. What is our favorite question to ask here?
Who asked for it?
Who asked for this? Yeah, because there will
Who
be
asked for
people
it?
there will be people who will watch the Beverly Hills Cop just for nostalgia purposes.
Right. There's a community. Yeah.
They will watch it for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why they didn't put it in the theater.
Yes. Safe bet. Safer bet. It's a safer bet. No, I'm just curious. I want to see what happens.
I don't think it's going to outdo Bridgerton.
It's not going to outdo Bridgerton. There's no way.
This is the thing. There's some things going on in Bridgerton land that is not lending to a second rewatch, because Bridgerton, their fans will rewatch over and over and over. But something's going on now where they're angry and they're all saying that they're not going to watch.
And Shonda doesn't care.
They're going to Shonda land, and they're very upset. It's been over a week. So I don't know. I will see.
I'm going to watch, but Shonda does not care. She does not care. She kills off characters and stuff at the drop of a hat, and she doesn't care who writes letters or who marches in front of bye. This character is gone. Especially with Scandal, where she doesn't care. So that's what's happening over there. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I do want to talk about a couple of other things. For those of you that I don't know, did you hear about the deal that producer Swiss Beats and Timbaland struck with Elon Musk?
Yes,
for that either. I know why they did it, but
good. Tell us.
The check. They're going to get more exposure on X than they would anywhere else.
Didn't we just talk about this? I was like, what was that series that everybody was doing during the pandemic? I couldn't even remember the name.
Versus.
It died off.
They sold Versus to Triller.
Yes.
Triller basically hasn't done anything with it, but I heard somebody say something about there's going to be a re-whatevering of it, and I guess they're trying to bring something back. But Triller is not really theirs anymore because it's sold. Mm-hmm. So now
using it.
Well, they got it back. So Swiss Beats and whoever the other person is,
Timbaland,
they have it now. They have it in their possession, and so they are going to team up with X.
That's true. They reacquired it. Yes.
Okay, and so X needs eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
And
even though Elon says he doesn't care, he does.
He does, because they need eyeballs, because he's also peddling back because of the advertisers.
He told them F you and all that. All of that is performative. That man needs the people to be on X. He needs it, even though he puts on this act of he does it. But he does.
We have to be the ones to do that.
No.
And then here's the other thing. Roland Martin says that Versus could be on another platform and whatever.
Fan base?
They could be on fan base.
Versus could be on YouTube.
Thank you.
They already simulcast till they had it on Instagram when they were doing the last one I watched. They had it on Instagram, but I watched it on YouTube.
Yes.
I watched it on Instagram because people I know were there and were making comments. But I also, the better experience was on YouTube. So if they leaned into that, they probably could have gotten. So they did. You're absolutely correct. They did not own it. They reacquired it, and now they have this partnership with X. So they announced this at these past 2 weeks was Cannes Lions. Right. So which one day I need to go to. I need to get to Cannes one day.
But that's just okay.
Can I say I'm trumping? All of these are tying in together. Again, Gen Z don't care. Versus was dead. And let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you why they don't care. Juneteenth, there was an epic, iconic concert.
Kendrick Lamar.
The world is crazy talking about it still. Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
Ken and friends to pop out. West Coast, everybody. You didn't have to be from the West Coast. I loved it. It's all Gen Z can talk about. It's all they think about. Ain't nobody talking about Versus. they ain't gonna talk about it because that thing is dead.
And that's the thing. They I guess they realized that they made a mistake with that partnership and selling it to Triller. Because Triller,
why didn't they stick with Apple? Why didn't they stick with Apple Music?
I don't know. They were I guess they're all trying to go where the money is going to be the greatest, but you need to go where the opportunity is going to lie the greatest. I still say, if you're trying to draw in Gen Z, listen. Tell me people don't watch Coachella when it comes on for those 2 weeks
on YouTube.
On YouTube. I watch, that's how, because I'm not standing in the middle of the desert. So yes, I watch Coachella on YouTube. There are several different stages people are watching. It's everybody, but that's Gen Z watching, because not everybody can go out to the desert.
So
they are sitting there watching. So you think you couldn't do the same thing with Versus?
So let me tell you who's the winners of the week: Amazon Prime and YouTube.
Amazon Prime and YouTube.
And YouTube. Because why? If you watch it on Prime and then you went to YouTube and relived it over and over, because it's on YouTube. People have put it there. And Kendrick has let every person use that song, not like us.
They're not like us.
Versus the other guy, Drake, took down every user generated video on YouTube concerning his song.
Embrace the people.
Thank you. The song is available to buy. He put it on YouTube. It's there. He let people do reaction videos using the music.
And guess what happens? The view count is going up and up and up and up and up and up, and the
which is advertising dollars. So the Kendrick's model, everybody eats.
Right.
So gatekeeping is dead.
Okay, so let me ask this question: how old is Drake compared to Kendrick?
Drake is older.
40. Yeah, he's older.
but the mindset of I want to protect my stuff. Where Kendrick is giving it away to everybody.
Drake went through the Prince. He went the Prince road and took down everything. You can't use my music on YouTube. Snatch, take down. Where Kendrick was like, let him eat, because he knows.
So there's gonna be. Drake is going to regret that when people walk away from his music and gravitate somewhere else.
He's already regretting it because he's already lost that.
It's already done.
People's
it's done.
Opinion. It's done.
It was hit, backed up, ran over, went forward, back 5-6 times.
And this is another thing. When you watched it, now I haven't finished watching it. I need to go. That's another thing.
I watched it.
But you saw that he had on that red hood.
Yeah,
he had on the red hoodie. That is a clear dig at Drake.
Yes,
you could do these things without making it so what. And then he was like, "Here, take it, all of you." And
also, Twitter dug up that the red outfit was a tribute to Tupac. Because they did a side-by-side picture of him, and he had on the whole same red outfit. Like, so I'm just saying, versus you guys are taking pictures, champagne on a yacht with Elon Musk. Ain't nobody who
and that, to me, that's wrong, because people who are fundamentally against Elon Musk and his ways, that's going to turn them off. I would have gone to a neutral platform where even if they're doing diabolical things behind the scenes, we don't know about it. We know for sure what Elon Musk's platform is about and what the agenda is. Honestly, as much as I enjoyed Versus, if it's going to be over there, I
thought, I was like, I didn't know they were still, wasn't that like 3 years ago? I honestly, we just had a conversation about it, and I was like, what was the name of that thing? I couldn't even remember the name of the thing, and it was the talk of the world in 2020.
But it's over. There's things that did not stay the talk of the world very long.
Yeah,
the stuff moves.
So here's the key: if you go to TikTok, and you can do this on the desktop and search. And do a search for Versus and see what you get, and do a search for Kendrick Lamar and see what you get, and then that's going to give you your answer. This is Gen Z is the driver of culture, and what they pay attention to, media wants to, the smart ones want to pay attention to, because that's the eyeball. Those are the eyeballs. So I don't think anybody's talking about the verses with Musk. And I saw the picture of him on the yacht with the champagne, and they're all happy. And I'm like, what are you smiling about? The winner of the week was the guy in the red hoodie with his friends, and he brought all of the gang culture together on stage. Unheard of.
That's my news of the week. That's what I have for you today.
There it is. I don't even live on the West Coast, and it's people that don't live in California in that area knew how monumental it was. They're still talking
right,
about it.
because the East Coast and the West Coast together on a stage, that is major. Because that wasn't the thing back in the day.
So he brought all of them together and was like, they were taking pictures at the end. And the photographer was like trying to wrap it up. And he said, no, keep going. This is monumental. Like, this hasn't been done. So just, and these are things, you don't have to follow everything that happens online. Like the things we talk about, just go to Threads, go to Twitter, go to, TikTok and see what's trending, and then
but that's what they need to do. I think if Swiss Beats and Timbaland, if they maybe have a conversation,
aren't
with
they 50?
Lamar.
I mean, I'm not getting into age, but the mind.
Timbaland is in his 50s, I think.
Yes,
and Swiss Beats is in his 40s, probably
late 40s, probably
late 40s. Yeah,
he might be hitting 50.
So exactly. I mean, that's young.
Well, versus work because nobody else had anything to do.
Yes, that was 4 years ago.
So they have to get out of pandemic mindset and okay, how can versus work now? You bought it back. Great. What you going to do with it? How are you going to engage us again? Because we've all forgotten about it.
They would have to get the hottest music thing happening, and they're not going to get that, which is what just happened on Juneteenth. They're not going to get that. It just happened already.
Then they need to team up with him and say, how can we make more magic together?
How?
But he's probably not going to do it if it's on
He's
X.
not going to do it with them. He's already done his thing. Not that I'm saying he's making a verses, but he did his own monumental music history thing. And I'm just like, people are still talking about it. It's been 2 days. And
I have to go back and finish watching it. You see, I have a lot in my queue that I need to watch.
Yeah, right. So it's on YouTube, everybody. If you want to watch it, it's not the whole thing. It was like 4 or 5 hours, but it was every West Coast rapper art. He even had Tommy the Clown. The guy.
Oh, I love Tommy the Clown.
If you don't know, the Crumping, and he had them dead. He had children on. It was epic. I didn't watch all of it. I just, looked at it until he got on stage. His set was like an hour or something, but it started at 7:30, and then went to 11 or 12 or something. So the beginning of it is all West Coast acts, even small ones, not big names. Just everybody was, everybody had a turn to perform, which I thought was great. So.
Wow.
Celebration of West Coast rap, and it was great. He even brought out Dre.
Look at that.
Well, this is what you get when you become a part of the Biz Chicks community. You get to learn a lot of different things. We talk media, we talk social media, we talk tech, everything that you need to take the hassle out of your hustle, so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. So we invite you to become a part of Biz Chicks. Just go to bizchicks.net, or you can text Biz to 33777. We'll be back next week with our Tech Life Weekly. Looking forward to having you come in. TJ, starting Monday, we'll have some coffee talks. Then Tuesday, TJ will be in here with her marketing talk. Wednesday, we got Coach Karen coming through on Money Mindsets. Thursday is Robin Shimizu. Now, also on Wednesday, you got Dr. Tachi with Mediascope.
Yes.
And also
the pop culture. What are you doing?
Yeah, with
separate, or is it part of Indie Soup
Gumbo?
Media?
Oh, but yeah, Pop Gumbo. So Pop Gumbo is
Gumbo.
from the Kenny Burns show. So
Oh,
that
okay.
drops on Wednesdays, but I do replay it on Fridays on Indie Soup.
Okay.
Right. And so then we got Indie Soup Media.
Mhm.
.tv. There's so
Yeah.
much that you can learn from this community. We want to thank everybody who is watching. We've got 11 people from X.
Oh,
tuning
sorry.
in. Tuning in, and I'm like, okay, thank you for watching and tuning in. And if you got questions, let us know. We'll be back next week. Want to say thank you again. And Dr. Tachi or TJ, any final words?
No,
This was great.
Yeah,
Said
it was
all.
really great. Really great.
Said it all.
Yes. We'll see you next week.
Bye.